podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
You know the saying, stay hungry, stay humble.
Boxingvoice.com.
I'm humble in defeat, and I'm going to remain humble in victory. This is it, right?
Deontay Productions.
I just wanted to put on a great boxing masterclass and also show the sweet science of this lovely sport. Man, the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
But I'm prepared to the best of my capability, and I pray that I get a win. Look at him, I love Mike Tyson, how he came into the game on some different kind of vibe. You know what I mean? It takes a crazy man to want to fight, you know what I mean, day in, day out. It's a hardcore sport, as you said, no silk shoes.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing boys.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another evening, spontaneous edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. We have a very jam-packed show for you. We have a lot of ground to cover. First and foremost, DiBella is out here doing interviews. Credit IFL with the interview that has stirred the pot. So much so that it's made Anthony Joshua attach a particular IG boxing page and their content on his story. What does it mean? So, the heavyweight boxing UK Instagram page posted a post that states boxing news. Deontay Wilder's former promoter Lou DiBella claims he was exiled after setting up Dazn meeting for Anthony Joshua fight. This is what has basically driven the internet crazy. Right now, they're saying that Deontay Wilder fired Lou DiBella because he set up a meeting with Dazn. This is what the AJ fans are running with. And Lou, I reached out to him, and he literally told me, I'm laying low, Ness. So he didn't want to come on anymore. He's already stirred the pot enough. I asked him, can he at least give me a quote? Because obviously AJ is insinuating and assuming that he was fired. He being Lou. Lou did not. He just gave me some emojis with the hands up saying, I don't know, and then a sly face. So outside of that, we'll discuss that. We have the audio because I feel like it's being twisted. The quote is, and I quote, "My relationship as a promoter for Deontay Wilder and working with his team ended when I set up the Dazn meeting, which is perverse. I tried to talk to everyone in the market to make most money for a guy I cared about. Isn't that what I'm supposed to do?" Now, based off this quote is where you get this alleged headline that states somehow Lou DiBella was exiled. Other headlines state that he was fired. And I'm just kind of here with you guys trying to figure out how these words get turned so much. Because in the audio, we're not going to hear that. So I just don't know where this
Lou, one more thing. Wilder Fury, you still working?
Well, excuse me. I just don't know where we're getting this from because the audio doesn't back that up. But here's the audio.
Lou, one more thing. Wilder Fury, you still working with Deontay?
I've answered that question a gazillion times before. Everyone knows I'm not working with Deontay, and I haven't been shy about it. My relationship professionally as a promoter for Deontay and working with his team ended when I set up the Dazn meeting.
So he said, ended when I set up the Dazn meeting. Okay.
Which is also perverse.
No.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
Explain and say, look, that's not really the case. That's not where we are right now in terms of splits. This is why, that's why. These are the stats and facts. And then I'll say, you know what, that makes sense to me. It has to make sense.
So you have to be...
Sorry about that. Not what I was trying to play.
What did I do? I tried to talk to everyone in the marketplace and make a best effort to make the most money for a guy that I cared about and I worked with. Isn't that what I'm supposed to do?
So let's rewind that. Because out of that, somehow Wilder fired him.
Lou, one more thing. Wilder Fury. Are you still working with Deontay?
I've answered that question a gazillion times before. Everyone knows I'm not working with Deontay, and I haven't been shy about it. My relationship professionally as a promoter for Deontay and working with his team ended when I set up the Dazn meeting, which is also perverse.
All right, so let's leave that there and continue. Let's see what you guys have to say, right? I would love your opinions on this. I would love your take. Also, just want to let you know we are going to have a few interviews, some very good ones. We'll be having up first and about 22 minutes, we'll have Joey Dawejko, the heavyweight that is going to be facing Frank Sanchez. Frank Sanchez is the new Eddie Reynoso trained heavyweight, Cuban heavyweight. So we're going to get Joey Dawejko on. You know, he was scheduled to fight Marat Gassiev on Gassiev's heavyweight debut, and that never really happened. So now Dawejko gets an opportunity versus Frank Sanchez. Frank Sanchez getting a lot of hype because he's trained by Eddie Reynoso. He's in that Canelo camp. So we're going to have Joey Dawejko on in about 20-something minutes, which would be 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 West Coast time. At 8 o'clock, truly a treat, we're going to have La República Dominicana's own Jason Rosario. I always call him Jenison. What the fuck? Jason Rosario will be on at 8 o'clock. And then at 8:30, we'll have manager Keith Connolly on the show as well. So Connolly was going to actually be a great interview since he does business with Eddie and with PBC and now. So we can definitely, and he does business with Lou, right? Because he manages Comey and Lou promotes Comey. So we could see if we could ask him something, see what we can get out of him. If you want to ask any of these guys a question, you know you can do that by heading on over to patreon.com/Thaboxingvoice. There are posts on Jason Rosario to ask him a question. There are posts on Joey Dawejko to ask him a question, and as well as Keith Connolly, the manager of Daniel Jacobs, of Richard Comey, of Adam Kovnacki, the heavyweight. And we'll find out who else he's working with as well. So if you guys could just do me a favor, Solo Dolo, Scarface, no Manolo. So I would appreciate your participation by having you hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show and allows other people to find the podcast so they can know that there's a boxing safe haven here where we talk boxing every day, and then we get on all the most, not the most, but we try to get on as many people as possible in the boxing world. So, yeah, man, if you can, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel right here at youtube.com/TheBoxingVoice. So, yeah, we're talking, obviously, Lou DiBella's latest comments, and I just feel like they could be being twisted. I'm not understanding, because I just don't know, right? Like, was he fired? Why isn't he just being straight up? You know, I asked for a quote on it. He could have texted me something, and instead he gave me emojis. He also, when he did text, he tells me I'm going to lay low. Why would you want to lay low if you're telling the truth, or if your truth, or whatever you said, if they're misinterpreting your truth, you need to correct that. And if this is your truth, why would you be laying low? Strange to me. I did reach out to the Deontay Wilder camp, and at the moment, they're not entertaining any outside negativity. They're only accepting and entertaining questions about the fight being, Wilder Fury 2. Nothing else, nothing more. So couldn't really get anything from Deontay as far as that. But it's neither here nor there, because if Lou thinks it's perverse that he's no longer working with them since the meeting, I really am interested to know why, because obviously that meeting was like a ripple effect, in my opinion. I think that that meeting was the start of Wilder's pay grade increasing. Dazn showing interest. Wilder, going there to see what was on the table and allowing his team to see what was on the table. That information obviously got back to Espinoza, and he had to match. So I don't know what happened between that meeting and Espinoza paying for the Dominic Brazil fight. We do know that we have seen less and less of Lou, especially when it has to do with PBC fighters. And honestly speaking, the interview that he did with IFL seemed a bit aggressive. He was very much, I don't want to say rude, because people have been fucking worse to me for sure. But I think that he definitely had his facts wrong, right? Like, he said that no one asked Eddie about contracts. That's not true. Or rather, he said IFL doesn't ask about contracts. I would say Coogan asks things, especially contract details. We got a super chat from Alexander Wilson that says, DiBella said he was embarked by Showtime for setting up the Dazn in Boxing Junkie, which is why Regis and Sergey aren't fighting on Showtime. Oh, well, I need that link. I need that link for sure. Because I haven't seen anything like that. But I am still working on Lou, Like he said, he's going to lay low. And we'll see, We'll see if he was truly banned. I mean, he does sound like it's hard out here for a pimp, right? Like the way he's talking, it definitely doesn't sound like he's having the best time doing business. It doesn't look like he's able to do things the way that he wants. There's a quote that he has on that same interview, I think, or on another, where he's talking about Derevchenko, and it almost sounds like he feels he's going to lose Derevchenko as well. We got another super chat from T Plums in Florida. He says, why are we giving these UK lames a ledge to troll on? I don't really know if we are giving it, right? If anything, they're spinning the Lou DiBella interview, or Lou. I don't know. What we don't know. Like I said, I contacted Lou. I contacted Wilder. Both don't want to talk about this situation. So That's the most I can do. I did my due diligence, you know. I mean, I can obviously continue to try and look for people in respected camps that would give me more information, but if the horses, right? If Wilder did the firing and Lou was the one that got fired, those are the two that should be giving me my answer. And it's not going down like that. So it is what it is. I just don't understand why would you fire Lou, right? Hypothetically speaking, what reasoning would Wilder have if, because of that meeting, again, the pay grade, in my opinion, seems to have elevated due to that, right? Like, that meeting caused Wilder's next fight to be upwards of 15 million, let's just say, right? We all thought he was going to get 20 from Dazn for the Dominic Brazil. Showtime Espinoza says, you know, we gave him what he wanted. Doesn't want to say specifically that he gave him 20. Says to us on the interview the other day that they gave him a portion. His promoters gave him another portion to get him to that. So his pay grade got up. Why get rid of Lou because of the meeting? I don't know. Now, if we say he got rid of Lou to get rid of Lou because that's one less hand in the pot, then that's fine, you know? Because there's plenty of people with too many promoters that get rid of, you know, one or two. You know, Big Baby just signed to Top Rank, and it's finally official. And, you know, he's got 3 promoters now. Greg Cohen, Dimitri Salita, and Top Rank now. But I'm going to get ahead and go out to the callers for the next 12 minutes while we wait for our first guest, Mr. Dawejko, Joey Dawejko, and we will talk some boxing with him.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
Mr. PBC, baby.
Boxingvoice.com. I'm the flyest. Canelo talking about he believe he can win. Go to my kitchen. Get the sharpest knife and cut the bullshit up. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great.
Mr. PBC, baby.
What's goodness? Back at it again. Solo, Dolo, Manolo, Cholo. I think this shit that's going on with this little tiny, little thing that UK can leap on is kind of weak. I mean, we don't know what really happened. This could be bigger. This could be someone above, you know, that says some shit. I mean, yeah, Wilder fired him, but I don't really think it changes the narrative of what Anthony Joshua done. Really, not to make the fight happen. Like this is really like it's his fault. Come on now. So I think, you know, we already know what Anthony Joshua's done. UK callers can say what they want, but we already know what's up. This is just a little speck that happened. You know, we already know the story of Lou DiBella not really working with PBC or Wilder. So, you know, that's my call. I'll boomerang it back in, though.
You know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all.
I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from terrorists.
You can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing. You want to bet? You bet 100,000 on that. Let's bet $1 million. Easy. Let's bet $1 million.
J Matt, don't know your intro, just listening. All right, CYP, talk to us.
Yeah. Oh, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Man, you know what's funny? First they said Wilder ain't getting paid 20 mil. He ain't making no money. But today, all of a sudden, they're saying Lou DiBella got fired because he made PBC match the offer. Which one is it? Is he getting paid or is he not getting paid? Did Lou DiBella send him up for 120 when Saudi Arabia offering 150 for one fight? Is that happening or not? Make your mind up, because either way you do it, Bomb Squad is winning, and y'all mad. Lou, I feel bad for you. You tried. His own wasn't ready. They fucked up the deal. If it would have went through, man, good job, but you still would have fucked up, because now Saudi Arabia would have been offering $300 million, and guess who would have been getting all that money? Guess who would have been locked in for 40? Dummy. Don't be mad. In the UK, I got a wrench and 3 calls. Life is great. CYP out.
All right, going to Sweden.
This is the only sport where you can kill a man and get paid for it at the same time. It's legal. So why not use my right to do so?
If he doesn't die, it doesn't count. If he's not dead, it doesn't count.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah, I'm at work, yo. I just literally sat down next to my phone and I was next in line. What's the topic? I missed the entire show.
The rumor is, or the rumor that the AJ fans are creating, is that Lou DiBella was fired because he set up the meeting with Dazn for Deontay Wilder.
Oh, wow. Well, I don't really have too much information about that, so I'm not going to speak on something I don't know. So, shout out to TBV and thanks for all the content, Ness.
No problem. Killer, man. Stick around. We're going to have Joey Dawejko in 7 minutes. Then we're going to have Jason Rosario, who just defeated Julian Williams at 8 o'clock. Then we're going to have Keith Connolly, the manager of Daniel Jacobs, Adam Kovnacki, and Richard Comey on at 8:30. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, as it helps with the visibility of the show, helps us grow, lets us know that this is the type of content that you guys are feeling and want more of. Got 3 jam-packed interviews for you guys today, just on this particular show. Remember, we did another 2 this morning, and we're going to have about 4, actually 5 tomorrow. It's going to be busy day, mañanas. Thursday, I'll pull up the schedule, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have Malik Hawkins, Damon Nicholson, Andrew Tabiti. I'll get the other 2 names in a bit.
El gran campeón puertorriqueño, Business Dailies, Chico Trinidad.
You got any excuses tonight, Roy? Let's not ask questions like that. Let's touch the left and go to work. Tonight, Roy. Let's go to work.
Yo, what up, Ness? Can you hear me?
What it do?
Not much, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't have too much to say on this, man, because there's not too much information out there. It's kind of, kind of up in the air, man. And, I'm interested to see what the dealio is between Lou and Deontay, man. You know what I'm saying? What happened there and what exactly is going on with that whole situation. Kind of get little bits and pieces here and there, you know what I'm saying? And nothing's really fully come together. So, that's really all I got, man. I don't really have an opinion yet because I don't exactly know what's even going on between them, you know what I'm saying, or what happened. So, just keep bringing us the content, bringing the show, bringing us the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Anytime you got something, you pass it on to us, man. So, appreciate it.
Keen, man, I tried my best, man, but I'm an audio snob. That new Bluetooth ain't what it is at all. Sorry. Teddy B from the EC. What up?
All right. I just got a couple points to run down. If he was fired, he was rightfully fired because he violated the Ali Act. You should do a show on the Ali Act. Think of when Luis Ortiz turned down the deal from DAZN. His manager turned down the deal, not the promoter. Your manager is the one that goes and gets you the deals, not your promoter. So Lou DiBella was in the wrong for going for that deal. His manager was supposed to do that. You should ask Keith Connolly about that too. I'm on Patreon, so that'll be my question. Just ask him, what's the difference between a promoter and manager through the Ali Act? And lastly, it's one for like another thing. Money Heist on Netflix. Watch Money Heist on Netflix. I'm out.
Yo, Money Heist old as hell. I think people getting put on it now because they just made it in English, but it was all Spanish. Is that the one with? I'm hoping that's the one with the mask. And I'm not out here sounding like an ass. Troy in Baltimore, you haven't pressed 1. Anybody on Blog Talk that wants to talk, you got to press 1 time to voice your opinion right here. The number to call in is right on the screen. Call in 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. We got a super chat from Alexander Wilson. It says, Lou said in the Boxing Junkie article that him setting up the meeting with DAZN didn't sit well with Al, Finkel, and Espinoza. All right. I mean, look. With Espinoza, I can see, but for Al and Finkel, why would they care when they get a percentage of Wilder's check, right? So the bigger the check, the bigger their check. Again, I'm not getting, unless they're upset from a standpoint of loyalty, right? Like, yo, you know our loyalties to Showtime. Why would you even, have us out here going to entertain the DAZN offers? Maybe that's where it's coming from. I don't know. We'll see what's up. We got 3 more minutes for Joey Dawejko. We're going out to Mr. 704.
Oh, what's up, champion? Hey, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Hey, the problem is Lou is not the fucking boss. So it's nothing wrong with it doing, but he need to talk to the boss. He's a concierge, whatever we call that shit, for mafia terms. You know what I mean? You're not even under boss. So in that sense. But the main problem I got with these dudes shoplifting on this damn show, come on there every day, ain't smashing that fucking like. Talking hella shit in the shit. Now, they don't understand the underground work that you take in to get these boxers on the phone, to get to their managers, to make them feel comfortable even coming on here. Only person doing the shit, and they come on want to talk shit in the chat, smash the like. Smash something. On some real shit. That's what's bothering me. And I appreciate you, brother. You've been lining the whole shit up, like I said, 2020 gonna be a big year. You've been showing it on some real shit. So I mean, keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. And I echo your words for real, bro. I see other videos, man. I seen people get 800, 900 motherfucking thumbs up. I'm like, damn, what am I doing wrong? Y'all really don't like the kid, man. Y'all like the content though. The views is there, not them thumbs up. I don't get it, but. Man, no mic yet? This is crazy. He told me he needed a few minutes. He had woke up late. I definitely need Mike so I could cut out and go ahead and get Joey on. But let's see what we got. We got L-Dog New Zealand. Talk to me.
Well, his face is finally showing. Deontay Wilder has finally exposed himself as the great American coward. This man, Lou DiBella, tried to set up the biggest fight in boxing today, and people are making excuses for, he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have done that. I don't care about all this money and business, man. I care about seeing the fight, and Lou DiBella was doing the fans a favor, but instead we got the great American coward, Deontay Wilder, the great American hype, running away from Undisputed and ducking it. Man, I saw so many people in this chat, including you, Ness, say, Lomachenko is ducking Undisputed, even though Lomachenko's leftovers is about to be the champion. This is a complete joke, man. Wilder is the biggest ducker, the biggest coward, and the biggest hype job of the last 10 years, man.
I get you, champ. I hear you, man. Don't know when Undisputed was on the line, though, but whatever. So, yeah, man. Okay, so we lost Mike again. Brothers. We're going to have to go back to another call. We got Ruin 504. Talk to me. I meant Rod in the A70. Pardon me. Rod in the A70, no?
Can you hear me next?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. This is a tough one because I read it yesterday on Twitter,
and I was trying to digest it and you know, come up with some thoughts or what I think about it. I just think that maybe Lou DiBella. I don't think Lou DiBella stepped across Wilder. I think he crossed the powers to be, like Al Heyman, Showtime's Steven guy, whatever his name, Espinoza, and some of those guys were pissed at him and probably told Wilder, "Hey, we're gonna give you the money, but let this motherfucker go." Because he crossed the line, and I think that's what happened. That's just my opinion. I just think he crossed the wrong people. I'm sure Wilder happy that he raised his price, but I'm sure the powers to be was not happy with him doing that. But that's my call.
All right, Rod.
Yo, 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 yo. What up?
What up, Mike? Where you been
Sorry
at?
about my. Say what?
I said, what up, Mike? Where you been at?
Oh, man, sorry about my tardiness, man. Something came up I had to deal with. But yeah, man, Anthony Joshua, I seen his IG story, you know what I'm saying? I guess everybody like to take shots, you know what I'm saying, when you're down, but it's all good. And Lou, I don't think Lou did anything wrong going to Dazn trying to get that deal.
Mike, hate to cut you off, but we all live with contender Joey Dawejko, the Tank, gonna be taking on Frank Sanchez, who's right now red hot in the media because of his affiliation and association with Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Reynoso. Joey, Tank, man, first and foremost, thank you for taking out the time to come on the program and talk some boxing with us. Happy New Year, brother. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good, man. Out in California training. I appreciate you guys bringing me on.
Yeah, man, we're happy, obviously, that you got a date. I know you were looking forward to fighting Murat Gassiev on his, heavyweight debut, and that's something that didn't happen. How'd you make the change in mindset from, waiting and preparing for Gassiev to now fighting Frank Sanchez, who's a Cuban, totally different style?
It felt like they were kind of stringing me along, but make a transition, because I was offered a couple fights in between the time of the Gassiev fights, you know what I mean? So it wasn't a big deal. I'm prepared to fight anybody, anytime,
What's going on, Mr. Dawejko? My name is Michael Gross. My first question is, were you surprised that Anthony Joshua didn't bring you back for the Ruiz rematch?
I don't know if I was not surprised or not. I don't know. I wasn't surprised.
So, Joey, who do you have in camp, man? Because I've been stalking the Instagram. I seen a few big guys there in a group photo, but none of them look familiar to me. Who you using in sparring for preparation for Frank Sanchez?
As of right now, I got a couple calls out to people. I just started sparring this week anyway, so I got some work over at Wild Card on Monday. I boxed at Justin Fortune's gym today, so we're still in the process of getting the sparring partners here.
So Fortune is going to be your strength and conditioning coach or head coach?
He's doing it all.
Okay.
He's my head boxing coach and he's my strength and conditioning coach too. So.
No, I asked because I know he does a lot of work for Manny Pacquiao in the strength and conditioning department. Anything strange, right, or out of the normal that he's having you do that you're not used to doing, or is this just a relationship that's been there for so long that it just works?
It works. I was doing strength and conditioning with him when Freddie Roach was training me too, so I'm used to all of Justin's techniques and stuff. And then even back then when Freddie was training me, Justin was still kind of part of the training. You know what I mean? He went to a couple fights with me when Freddie couldn't make it. So the training with Justin is good because he's a heavyweight. He was a heavyweight fighter himself. You know what I mean? So it's a perfect fit for me because he's a smaller heavyweight too. So it's pretty good.
As a boxing fan, I've seen you watch. I mean, I've seen you fight on a couple different occasions. And when I seen you fight against Sergey Kuzmin, I was like, damn, man, Joey won that fight, in my opinion. Joey won that fight. Then I see you come back against a guy like Hernandez, and it was kind of like a lackluster performance. What Joey can we expect against Frank Sanchez?
You could expect the best Joey Dawejko you've seen in a while. The thing with the Ronnie Hernandez fight, I was supposed to fight Murat Gassiev. You know what I mean? So they called me the week before the fight. I was just finishing up sparring. They called me a week before the fight, and I didn't even know that I was going to fight. Like I wasn't with Matchroom, so I wasn't. You know what I mean? They did me a favor by keeping me on the card and got an opponent for me. You know what I mean? And they really set that fight up within a couple days, like a couple days before. So it wasn't like I had. I mean, I was ready to fight, but different styles. You know what I mean? So it was, I really had my mind set on Gassiev, and then they switched it like literally last minute, a couple days before. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. Box fighters gotta take that on the chin and just do what they gotta do.
And how much does that Kuzmin, like so-called loss, guys? I had you winning of that fight. How much does that
Thank
like
you.
still like kind of?
Mike, he just said
I'm
thank
sorry,
you.
you were breaking up. What'd you say?
Oh, I'm sorry. I would say, does that fight with Kuzmin like still bother you that they possibly like won't give you the rematch?
No, I mean it's done and over with. You know what I mean? I'm a fighter, so it don't matter the outcome. I know I did good. I had 2 weeks to prepare for that, and everybody says, "Oh, well, you shouldn't be taking fights on 2 weeks' notice. I'm prepared." But what people don't know, I fought Andrei Fedosov over in Russia, and I tore my bicep in the fight. So I was still on rehab when they called me to fight Kuzmin, and I was like, "Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely take that fight." So that's what happened, and I had 10 days, 14 days to prepare for it. But I thought I did enough to win. I mean, I'm not salty about it or nothing. I just got to do what I got to do now, you know.
What do you think has been the biggest, I guess, drawback in your career? Because you've shared the ring with some names, you know, and obviously we don't know your life. We don't know what happened in every single situation, but obviously things could have went a different way, and you could have a very impressive heavyweight resume. Because like I said, you've been in, I mean, I think you were 4-0 when you fought Big Baby. So, like, you know, you've been in with some names. What do you think is the problem? Why can't Joey get a run?
You know what? Like early in my career, I was like working every day. You know what I mean? I had to work, and I was taking fights that I shouldn't have. Taking fights on short notice without training. Like I fought Charles Martin on a week notice, no training prior to that. You know what I mean? Nothing at all. And I just took it just because I'm a fighter. You know what I mean? And then when I signed with my manager, Mark Ciparone, in 2014, he kind of turned it around for me. But there's always injuries here and stuff happening there, and you know what I mean? So a couple of them fights, like when I fought Italo Pereira, I tore my labrum in my shoulder. I had to get surgery on that after, you know what I mean? So it's always something happening. Right now, I'm fighting Frank Sanchez, and this is a perfect opportunity and a perfect opponent for me to get ahead, you know what I mean? And get over that hill and prove myself, you know what I mean? So I need to win this fight, and from there, it's just sky's the limit.
What kind of impact do you expect Eddie Reynoso to have on Frank Sanchez? I know it's his first fight, but are you expecting him to like be that much different than he was his last fight?
It depends, you know what I mean? Because you could have a fighter, and if you don't have nothing to offer them, it's not going to work. You could be the best trainer, you could be the worst trainer, but it all depends on how they mesh, you know what I mean? I'm not worried about the trainer. I've trained with the best trainers in the world before. You know what I mean? So I'm not worried about the trainer. I'm worried about the fighter and what he could bring to the table. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing that he's training with Eddie Reynoso, but he's good for Canelo. But that doesn't mean he's good for Sanchez. You know what I mean?
Definitely. But look, it's good for you because it makes your fight all that more high profile. Like Sanchez and this fight wouldn't get the publicity that it's getting if it wasn't for Reynoso, I believe, and the Canelo connection. But, you know, we got some questions from the people. We're going to go to the first one in California from Kels, who says, bottom line, up front, did you knock out Anthony Joshua in sparring?
I don't know. I don't know nothing about none of that, man.
All right. Well, we got another one, same topic, in the UK, who says, quit your clout chasing and admit you didn't KO Anthony Joshua in sparring.
Listen, man. Everybody says that. Even Anthony Joshua kind of went on record. He didn't say my name, but he went on record saying I was looking for 5 minutes of fame and all that. That's like, I didn't say nothing about it. Everybody was coming
what
to
you
me
mean nothing
about it.
about it? Wait, what you mean nothing about it, Joey?
No, I'm saying about the situation. I'm talking about the situation. That's it. I'm talking about the situation. That's it.
All right, we got the next one
Was it with the right or the left? That's all I want to know. Right or left?
It was definitely the left hook, man. All right, we got the next one from Cisco Promotions, who says, with AJ lost to Ruiz and you being in the camp with AJ in the past, how would you picture the fight between AJ and Wilder? Would it end if that fight was ever made? I guess he meant to put, how would it end if that fight was ever made?
How would it end? Listen, Wilder is his power is unbelievable. You know what I mean? Anthony Joshua has good boxing skills, but it's just a matter of when Wilder could land a punch. Because if he lands a clean punch on anybody, he's putting them out. You know what I mean? So it would all depend on if Wilder could land a clean punch. And who knows? You know, Wilder really never been tested against a puncher either. Stavern, I think he was shot. You know what I mean? So I don't think he was really ever tested against a big puncher anyway. So it would really come down to who could land that big punch first.
You don't consider Ortiz a puncher?
Yeah, but he's more of a slick boxer. Like his style is more of a slick boxer. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Joey, I was just sitting here thinking, like, have you ever considered in calling out Dave Allen? I know you like Dave Allen, what does he do for me? But sometimes every Gotti might need his Ward, and Gotti and Ward made a lot of money together.
Yeah. I know Dave from being over in camp with Tyson Fury in England, so we talk a lot. I would never turn down a fight against anybody, so if they ever offered that to me, I would definitely take it. I think it would definitely be a fun fight, you know?
Definitely.
All right, we got another one here from Ruin of 504 that says, you're facing a guy that has been undefeated since turning pro. Do you think a victory over him will earn you a spot in a sanctioning body ranking?
Yeah, it should. The fight, from what I hear, is for the NABO title, and he's ranked number 11 in the WBO. So a win over him should definitely put me in the top 15.
Sweet, man. That'll be good for you. We got the next one is from Dominic in Seattle, who says, hey there, champ. Congrats on your success. So what's your top 3 TV shows you love to watch? Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I appreciate the support. My top 3 TV shows, the first one is definitely The Sopranos. I'm a big Sopranos fan. The second one, I like watching Riverdale with my girl. And number 3, I'm not really sure about number 3. Big Brother. I'm a Big Brother fan.
All right. We got the next one from Mr. Sims. It says, have you ever tried to fight Jermaine Franklin or possibly Dillian White in his showcase fight in the America? But he put the emoji of America. That's why I read it that way. I only ask because Hearn is thinking of bringing White here with Povetkin, but I think you have more buzz and would put on a good showing. Well, you definitely got more buzz in America.
Yeah. You know what? Never about Jermaine Franklin. I never got offered to fight him, but I would definitely. The thing with Dylan White. So a couple years ago, I don't know if anybody remembers. He fought in like Mississippi or something, somewhere down south. He fought Nebraska. Yeah. So I got. Yeah, exactly. There. That's it. So he fought. I think it was Ray Austin. Maybe could have been that. But they offered me to fight with him. It was like a 2-week notice.
Wasn't it Markham Tam or something like that?
Some bad name.
Oh, Malcolm Tan. That was it. Yeah. Yeah, Malcolm Tan. Yeah, it was Malcolm Tan. So he fought him. I got offered the fight on like a 2-week notice. My manager called me. We took it, and then they wound up picking Malcolm Tan. So now, move ahead a couple years. He just fought in Saudi Arabia. He fought Marius Wach. It was either me that he was fighting or it was Marius Wach, and he personally chose Marius Wach because he thought that Wach is shot, you know what I mean? So he was going to walk right past him. And that's where he got kind of surprised because Wach was in pretty good shape and he gave him a good fight. And I think he didn't want to fight me because he knew it would be a good fight, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I hope eventually I get a chance to fight him.
Yeah, man. If you would have seen him like during the weigh-in, you'd been like, "Oh man, I would have had him easy because he was rotund."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You think it was the rumors made him go the Wach way?
I don't know. I don't know. I was even like posting on Instagram like just stuff like that. And I was in Canada when I got the call, sparring with Arsen Block, Makhmudov, right? The big Russian guy, 10-0. I think he just knocked Sam Peter out in like December. And so I was training already, you know what I mean? So I was ready to go, man.
All right, we got another one from Delaware. Jemmy that says, do you think Andy Ruiz ate himself to that loss? And if you were in his shoes, what would you have done? No, he says, would you have done things differently or is it difficult to say?
No, it's not difficult to say because I know the potential, you know what I mean? But listen, they fought on June 1st, right? This dude didn't stop partying from June 2nd on to the next fight. Until the next fight, December 7th. You know what I mean? So he was living his life. He upset the world. You know what I mean? He that's just something that I guess he never had before. So he was doing it, and he made a lot of money. And I mean, he should have realized the potential of what he could make if he beat him the second time. You know what I mean? So I thought it was a disgrace, honestly.
Do you think that had that been you wouldn't have been blinded by the success? Because that's what it seems. It seems like he got sidetracked by the fame and the, being a champ and not training
he was right. He was still doing press tours like 4 or 5 months after the fight. You know what I mean? So me, I would have had that money. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have spent too much of it, but I would have bought a bigger house, you know what I mean? I would have did the right things with it, and I would have set my kids up, you know what I mean? While I would still be training, and that money would have motivated me. You know what I mean? To make more money. Who could lose motivation if they knew that they could make more money? You know what I mean?
Now, watching that win on June 1st, you know, you being a heavy set guy yourself, like, did that send motivation? Were you like, oh my God, like, how did you react to watching AJ lose to Andy Ruiz?
I did it too already. Y'all just didn't see
it. I wasn't surprised about it because I always knew who Andy Ruiz was. I worked with him 6 weeks before that too. He was fighting Alexander Dimitrenko, and I was in California. I was going to the gym and stuff, and he wound up being in the gym one day, and we sparred. You know what I mean? So I knew his capability, and I even told AJ that in camp. I said he's gonna give you a little trouble starting out just because of his style, but if you stay away from him and keep the jab in his face, like you had the potential to beat him. You know what I mean? But I know what I'm capable of. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It motivated me only because that I know that I could beat these guys too.
Bet. We got another one from Frank. I'm sorry.
I was going to ask, if you were in Andy Ruiz's situation right now and Eddie Hearn is offering you the Dillian Whyte fight in America, would you take it or would you want to rebuild?
Within a second, I would take that.
All right. We got another one from Frank who says, what specifically was your role in preparing AJ for Ruiz Jr. fight, and what difference do you think it made?
I was his sparring partner the last week of his camp, actually. That's pretty much it. I was getting him prepared for Andy Ruiz.
All right, we got another one from Las Vegas, Caesar, who says, what's up, Joey? Thanks for coming on the show and answering the fans' questions. I don't have a question, just want to say good job, KO. Good job, KO and AJ in sparring. Now your name is out there and you got some fans who want to know who you are. Wish you much luck in your career, champ. Oh, man, people crazy.
I
appreciate the support.
Calling every day about you, Joey D.
Joey D. From New Orleans. We gotta call it, every day. Like, yo, why he ain't bring Joey D back in camp though? We got another one from California. 7 says, why did you do AJ like that? They out of control. Come on, I'm gonna have to proofread these.
Yeah, I get messages. I get messages like this all the time, man.
Oh, man. All right. The next one is from the UK, so I'm sure this will be different. He said, Big Nick says, how soon do you think you can get a top 10 ranking with one of the 4 major belts, and how many fights do you feel it would take you to get there? Side note, do you feel Deontay Wilder has achieved enough now to be considered a living legend?
Like I said, if I beat Frank Sanchez, it's for the NABO title, and that's supposed to give you an automatic 15 ranking. You know what I mean? Top 15. So within a couple fights, I could move up and stuff. On the Deontay Wilder subject, I don't know if he's a living legend. He's definitely one of the hardest. If not the hardest puncher in the heavyweight division ever, possibly. I felt his power. I never felt George Foreman's power. I never felt Ernie Shaver's power, but I could kind of go off of who they knocked out and how it happened. But Deontay Wilder is definitely the hardest puncher to me in the heavyweight division ever, too.
So you never sparred Deontay?
Yeah, I did spar Deontay, but I did a couple interviews before stating that he was a harder puncher than Foreman and Shavers, and people were like kind of clowning me on there, like, oh, I forgot this dude fought in the 70s. But I'm a fighter, you know what I mean? So I've been around forever. Like I am only 29, but I know what I'm seeing. I know a lot about boxing. So I've been in the ring with everybody, so I could say that he's the hardest puncher that I've ever been in with. and make an opinion about that. You know what I mean?
All right. We got Dual Ingram that says, did you size up any other UK heavyweights when you were training with Joshua? I think you can make good money across the pond with Gorman. He's food. Tom Little, food. David Allen, big money, but still food.
I actually went to camp with AJ in Miami, so I wasn't in England with AJ, but yeah, I would definitely love to fight all them guys. Daniel Dubois, what's his name? Nathan Gorman or something.
Yep, Nathan Gorman.
All them guys, definitely. I would love a fight with all them guys.
Last one right here, Joey, from Teddy B from EC saying, being from Philly, have you sparred Darmani Rock?
Yeah. I sparred a couple times with him. Early in his career when he was still a young amateur, and then I guess he was getting ready for the Olympic trials or something, and I went down and sparred him too. Good talent. I think he has to realize his potential too, and take training serious. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to do good.
This may be a little personal on Darmani, but I just want to ask anyway. Like, do you think that they don't think he's ready? I feel like they're going a little bit slow with him, right? Like, or is it just because he's young?
Yeah,
what do you think?
I mean, it could be because he's young. I know. I spoke with his dad a lot, and I think they're on the right track with him. They don't have to move him super fast, but on the other hand, he could get there quicker if he starts fighting better competition. You know what I mean? And he can make more money doing it that way too, instead of just padding his record and building them. But he's doing. I mean, he's staying on a right course. So who knows what could happen with him?
Joey, so last question from me. Do you think, like, at this point, do you even envision multi-fight deal contracts, or do you know that at this point in your career you're always going to be fight by fight, having to wait by the phone? Like, or is there some way you can change that, you think?
Well, that's the way it's kind of been the last couple years, or the last couple fights, I should say. My promoter was Greg Cohen, but it just depends on my performance.
Wait a
minute.
What I mean?
If I go knock
Wait
Frank
a minute.
Sanchez
You
out.
said was? You got out of a Greg Cohen promotion? You said was, or you're still with
Well,
him?
no. I'm saying that the past couple years he's been my promoter. So,
okay.
You know what I mean? So if I knock Frank Sanchez out, who knows what could happen? You know what I mean? I may be able to sign a deal with PBC, or if Eddie Hearn calls me up after and we could get a deal done with Matchroom, who knows? You know what I mean?
Definitely. Listen, man, Greg just got Big Baby a top-ranked deal, man. So we wish you the best. We definitely want to see you and your family, get a life-changing fight. We really hope that you have no injuries and you're not just saying the right things, and that you're taking this Frank Sanchez fight seriously, because we are fans of you over here, Joey.
Definitely.
And if you can, just give out your social media for anybody that isn't following you can do so.
On Facebook, you could get me at Joey Dawejko, and on Instagram it's Joey the Tank Dawejko.
All right, thank you, Joey.
All right,
We
Joey,
appreciate
thank you again, brother. Enjoy the rest of
Thank
your
you.
day.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
No
All
problem.
right, see you guys.
There you go, N.O. There you go, dog. We had Joey D on for you, big dog.
Yeah, man, we about to get Jason Rosario on. See, Mike don't even know about Jason. Mike don't even know because he's sleeping. I'm working. He up, I'm working. Nah, but we got Jason Rosario next. We got our translator in the building. Is going down. So we got 30 minutes before we get Keith Connolly. So we're going to go ahead and transition into this Jason Rosario interview all the way from the Dominican Republic. Mike, take over.
Yeah, big up, man. Big up, Joey D. Thank him for coming on. No, we got our translator in the room. Know what I'm saying? Got Jason Rosario. See, I don't know if like is the J silent in the Dominican Republic? Is it loud? I'm calling his name Jason, but it ain't how we spell Jason over here in America. So I think it was like Yetson. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Who knows, bro? Maybe I'm overthinking it right now. Maybe I just smoked too much weed right now, but who knows, man. But big ups to Joey D for coming on. This whole AJ thing, like I'm gonna go back to that real quick. I think Lou DiBella did what he could, and sometimes when you do what you can and you do the very best you can, you might still have consequences when it come behind it. Apparently, Al and Espinosa, they felt like he maybe run the price up on him. You know what I'm saying, with the Deontay Wilder fight. But it is what it is, man. I don't got no hard feeling towards Lou or anybody resolved. That's just how business goes sometimes, man. Sometimes guys get left out. Oh, okay, you want to run the price up, then we just gonna cut you out. And I advise Wilder, hey, you can save money by just cutting them out and come up with bum squad promotions. And maybe that's what the conversation was between Al and Wilder, but we'll never know. You know what I'm saying? Lou DiBella, the reason he probably laying low, he understands that he has a future in boxing, that he's gonna have more fighters coming up, and he's gonna be having to work with these guys. So the best thing for him to do right now is just you got what you need to get off your chest, sit back, lay low, you know what I'm saying, and just enjoy the fight tomorrow night. No need to make any more headlines. You know what I'm saying? No need to ruffle any more feathers. But if you want to ruffle some feathers, you know what I'm saying, you're more than welcome to come on the Boxing Voice anytime you want to, Mr. DiBella. But I understand what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You got a future in the sport of boxing, and you're just trying to make sure that that's not going to be in jeopardy. You got a lot more fighters. You got a lot of young fighters, too. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of young heavyweights. And maybe you want to match them, those guys up one day against the likes of a PBC heavyweight, maybe a Job or a Wilder or Tees down the road. And you got to make sure that you're not going to have a overlasting grudge, you know what I'm saying, coming back your way. So I can respect what Lou's doing, but he had to get something off his chest this weekend. We all kind of seen it. The one thing that I did not appreciate was the fact that he told the guy, don't ask him that question again. Like, bruh, I would just been like, hey, I ain't really got to do this interview right now. So it is what it is. Like, I'm going to ask you this question, and if it's not disrespectful, what the question wasn't, and I've seen Eddie Hearn ask that question too, how many fights Kell Brook got, how many Dylan White, and that's how we found out that Dylan White was on Fight to Fight, and AJ wasn't signed to a long-term deal, and things like that. So Tony Bellew was never signed. That's how we found out, because ISL TV, they asked him. And so for Lou to be kind of, mean-spirited with that, I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? The guy was just doing his job. He overheard something, and he went out there fishing, just trying to see could he get it right. And you know what I'm saying? He had some validity to what he was speaking about, because the way it sounded in that interview, Lou was like, there's certain wordage in the contract that says, even though this may be his last fight, I have a last match to write offer or whatever. So say a top rank comes with a 4 for like $40 million. Then I can match that 4 years, 4 fights for like $40 million, just hypothetically. So that's what he was saying. But at the same time, the reason he felt like it was unfair, because he knows that these guys can possibly X him out by just offering a absurd amount. But let's go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we live not with Jason. Fuck, man. They an hour ahead over there.
So he thought it was 9 o'clock. No, he was.
Nah, man. I was very specific with him. We went over all the time, so I don't know.
Where he at?
Dominican Republic.
And he got 2 belts.
3 belts if you count the IBO.
He married?
I don't know if he married. Those were all the questions I wanted to ask.
I'm finna say, cause he a young man too, ain't he? How old is he? About 24, 23?
I don't even know.
Unified? What you was doing at 23?
No,
Not unified.
I hear you, man. I hear you, but I wanted to get him on the
Well, I
show,
was doing
man.
23, nigga, not unified. Hell,
I wanted
man,
to.
sometimes, like you said, man, it's show business, man.
Nah, I know, man. I know. I just
back to
hate.
this
I
loop
just
thing,
hate.
man,
I
like I
just
was saying.
yeah. I want to hear you. I know you've been talking, but I normally turn the headphones down when I'm trying to get the call, so it don't come onto the phone. But like,
The biggest thing that
what
I
do you
was saying,
think?
because
You believe it? Did you hear the audio? You need me to put? You heard the audio?
I heard you what you said about him laying low. You know what I'm saying? Because
That's
really
my because I
watched
tried
the
to get
whole
him on the
interview, you know what I'm
show.
saying? Like I watched the interviews like so long that like he was like, all right, man, gotta go. I'm like, damn, man, it's like 5 minutes left on the clock. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all still got 5 minutes left. So it was another 5. So I watched the whole interview, and the reason he's laying low, Ness, man, you know this. He got future business interest in future fighters. He don't want to ruffle too many feathers. He already said what he had to say. Already got that stuff, hit that steam off his chest, and it's no point to keep adding on to it. Keep adding on to it. So he understands, and he's trying to protect his future business interest. That's my perception. I could be wrong.
But the question is, do you believe he was fired for setting up the meeting?
Do I believe Lou DiBella was fired?
First of all, do you believe that's what he meant?
He said after the meeting with Dazn,
he said, and I quote, "My relationship as a promoter for Deontay Wilder and working with his team ended when I set up the meeting with Dazn, which is Perverse. I tried to talk to everyone in the market to make the most money for a guy I cared about. Isn't that what I'm supposed to do?" End quote.
My bad. I'm trying to type in perverse right quick and figure out what the fuck that means. Perverse. Showing a deliberate and abstain desire to behave in a way that is unreasonable or unacceptable, often in spite of the... There you go. Yeah, I believe it. Perverse means like they did it intentionally. After I'm setting up a meeting for I mean, in Lou's eyes, he was out here trying to set up a meeting to get Wilder the most money possible. And I understand that he had his own prerogatives. He just wanted to be a boxing fan, that enthusiast, trying to make that fight now. Trying to do that. But when you do that, don't forget, you were the guy who put on the events at the Barclays Center. You know what I'm saying? You were the guy who on the East Coast handled a lot of PBC stuff. If they felt like, or Lou felt like, or really PBC, if they felt like, you know what I'm saying, that you went out and you did it on your own and you already know how the setup goes, then maybe we cut ties with you. Then we start, and these guys are getting older too.
But what you mean about go out on your own? I'm so lost.
Because
you saying okay.
You put on events that's like Broadway boxing. That's cool. We give you fighters to put on events for. That's what I'm saying. You say you promote Deontay Wilder, but do you really? Like, do you really? Like, we if Wilder's not fighting on the East Coast, you ain't promoting him. If you fighting out west, who gonna be TGB, right? That's how it goes. So we're giving you fighters, and you going out here and trying to speak. But you really know that I'm the guy who's speaking for you, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's just me taking some shit and just going full tilt with it.
I just don't get why Wilder would fire a guy who raised his pay grade. By setting up that meeting, he ensured Wilder's next payday was, I don't know how many times big. I'm just gonna say very big, right? We all are under the impression he got close to $20 million for Dominic Brazil.
Sometimes you guys, when you come back, you gotta sit them down. Like, hey, this is business, and you know, business ain't no love. You know what I'm saying? Don't take nothing personal that happens in business. We can give you that same amount of money, but you're gonna have to step up this bomb squad promotion. Like, you're gonna have to get behind this motherfucker. Your face got to be on this. We can't afford to have Lou no more. Lou gonna be all right. He been in the business. You know what I'm saying? He been in and out the business. We know Lou. Lou been around. Lou gonna be around. It's about you and your generational wealth. That's kind of the conversation that was probably had. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's no disrespect to anybody. No, it's just business, homie. How many fighters Lou done had and they didn't cut it and he dropped? Guys, we'll never know. You know what I'm saying? It ain't not personal. Like I can't use you no more.
I hear you, man. Sucks for Lou though to be on the outside, man, with all that talent. And it ain't like he got a lot of talent, but he got a couple fighters.
And he at risk of like you said, I can't compete. Like it's like unfair. It's an unfair advantage, which it is. Like you got these like because I actually like sit back and think and like thought about it. Like Matchroom, they've been around since the Barry Hearn days. Top rank, we seen what Bob been doing. Al Heyman, he was not the new kid on the block, but pretty much
he the game changer.
The guy
no, he's the game changer.
Yeah, exactly.
He changed the game. When Al came into the game, is when fighters started getting $1 million per fight. Before Al, they was slaving people.
And he's why fighters love Al so much. No matter who you like, motherfuckers don't. I've never heard a fighter come on here and say, "You know what, fuck Al." Even if he left Al, I ain't never heard a fighter say that. No, never heard a fighter talk bad about Al like in that capacity. Only thing that we heard, I wasn't as active as I wanted to be. That's the only not. That's the only thing. Other than that, fighters love Al, and that's why you got those big three. And if you're a guy like Lou, how can you compete with that?
Nah, he gotta
that just blows up out of nowhere.
Listen, he gotta do what Gary Shaw did. Gary Shaw, and that ain't last. You know, like when it was all said and done, Gary backed out the deal. But Gary Shaw Promotions had merged with Rockefeller. Rockefeller got into the game. They had the wallets. And they needed fighters, so they swallowed Gary Shaw. Gary Shaw had Brian Jennings, all them dudes. He had a couple fighters, you know what I mean? He was another Lou in the game, you know, but not, you know, Lou at least had HBO television exec ties. Like Lou is essentially Espinoza. Like if Espinoza ever decides to quit and turn promoter, there you go. That would be the Lou DiBella story. So this guy Gary Shaw, he got with Rock Nation. My bad, I said Rockefeller thinking Jay-Z, but even though it's the same thing, right? He got with Rock Nation, and you know, he was able to make some moves because of that. But then he backed out that deal. I guess he had a certain amount of days or time frame to do that, and he did back out, and he eventually faded to black though. Like he's gone, you know. But I guess he sold Rock the company, and didn't take his position, right? Because they bought his company and made him the face anyway. Like not the face, but like a CEO or some shit. Like you know, you know what you're doing anyway. Just go ahead. We just the money. We gonna brand you
majority share.
But you know, when we were interviewing him, he's like, you know, he didn't like how. You know, when you doing your own thing for so long, it's kind of hard to have a boss. Maybe is all I can say.
It definitely gonna be because you're gonna see like things that you don't like because you used to calling the shots. But at the end of the day, like if you took that position, then you know what it is.
But that's what Lou needs to do. He need to just go sit down with Eddie and you know, get a buyout price and then a position. I mean, when you can't compete, you can't compete. You could go do the same thing with Top Rank. Let them buy DiBella Promotions.
Yeah, but how much you gonna get for like DiBella Promotions right now? If you got not Lewis, Regis on a expiring contract, Tevin Farmer possibly on a expiring contract. If you hitting him, hey, you just sit back and wait. Shit, we'll pluck them off one by one. You know what I'm saying? Like you just pluck them off one by one. You wouldn't go there to go ahead, Ness.
All right. The treat is in the building. We are live with the unified champion, Jason Rosario. And I just want to say first and foremost, thank you for the time for coming on the show and talking some boxing with the Boxing Voice and our listeners. And Happy New Year.
Aló, Jason.
Sí.
Jason Rosario, ¿cómo está? Me llamo Alex Lane, soy el trasladador para el TVV, la Boxing Voice en español. Bueno, yo le voy a estar haciendo la traslación en español. ¿Cómo está hoy usted? ¿Cómo se siente?
Estamos bien, gracias a Dios. Un día bueno, gracias a Dios.
He said, thank the Lord, I'm doing good. I feel good. It's been a good day.
Well, first and foremost, tell him I want to thank him, for becoming, the Dominican Republic's, I want to believe, first unified champion. Ask him if he could correct me if I'm wrong with that.
Primeramente, le quiero dar las felicitaciones por ser el nuevo campeón unificado, ¿no?
Sí.
De la República Dominicana.
Sí, gracias. Y gracias por la oportunidad de estar saliendo en su radio, en su emisora.
So thank you, appreciate it, and I've been listening to the show.
Ask him if he can just tell us his story, man. How did he get into boxing, being as though he's a Dominican? Usually those guys take baseball up.
Bueno, lo que quiere saber, Ness, es que, ¿cómo tomó usted el deporte de boxeo? Usted sabe que allá en la República Dominicana a veces se van por el béisbol, ¿no? ¿Cómo fue la historia suya en entrar al deporte?
Bueno, realmente yo era un niño que peleaba mucho en la calle y me gustaban las peleas. Y un día fui a un gimnasio, donde entrenaban boxeo, me puse los guantes con un niño igual que yo, pero el niño sí sabía más que yo y el niño me golpeó y eso me motivó a seguir yendo.
Yeah, he said, when I was growing up young, I used to, be in the streets, get into a couple of street fights here and there. And, he liked fights. He liked fighting. And one day, he just kind of happened to see a gym. He walked in there and, they put the gloves on him and they put him up against a kid just like him. And, the kid got the best of him. And he just had a hunger to come back.
Ask him, how did he not lose hope after suffering that first loss to Nathan Gallimore? And ask him, what sort of a burden was that on his shoulders going back to the Dominican Republic with that loss in 2017 to Nathan Gallimore?
Okay, cut it. Okay. Lo que quiere saber, Ness, es que cómo usted no perdió la esperanza después de perder contra Nathan en esa pelea. ¿Cómo usted no dejó que eso viniera para atrás con usted y afectarlo?
Realmente lo primero que me ayudó, que no me dejó caer totalmente, fue Dios. Si no hubiera sido por Dios, yo no estuviera donde estoy hoy. Luego yo pude entender que muchas veces necesitamos caer para volver a levantarnos con más fuerza. Y muchas veces tenemos que aprender a perder para poder ganar.
Okay, well, Jason's saying that, first of all, it was his faith in God, and that surely took him, down a more positive route. And he's the type of guy that believes that sometimes we got to fall hard in order to be able to rise. And sometimes you just, you're put in situations where you got to learn how to lose and know how to come back from it.
Can you ask him where he holds his camp and how long he's been holding it in that location?
Lo que quiere saber Néstor es que en qué ciudad o a dónde en la República Dominicana usted tiene su campamento y cuánto tiempo ha estado ahí con su equipo.
Realmente en esta pelea no hice campamento aquí en Dominicana. Hice campamento en Miami, Florida. Pero las otras peleas sí, en las otras peleas la mayoría he entrenado aquí en Dominicana. El sector se llama en Sánchez Payá. En Sánchez Payá, 24 de abril. Ahí se nace Jason.
El gym, ¿me puede decir el nombre otra vez que no le pude oír claramente?
El gimnasio se llama Billy Thompson.
Ben Thompson.
Billy Thompson.
Billy Thompson.
Okay, Billy Johnson.
Sí.
Okay, so he says that this last fight he actually had it in Florida, his camp, but the rest of his fights have been over there in DR, in that gym.
Can you ask if this was his first and only camp here in America? I know he said it. I just want to make sure. I want to reiterate it. Ask it to him clearly so that he knows. Is that the first time he trained in America ever?
Uh-huh. Bueno, lo que quiere saber Ness es que solo para que él esté claro en lo que le está entendiendo, si esta es la primera vez que usted ha tenido un campamento en los Estados Unidos y si este va a ser el único o tal vez vuelve con su equipo para tener otro campamento por aquí.
Sí, claro, bueno, es la primera vez que estoy fuera de mi país, pero sí voy a volver a Miami, sí vuelvo de regreso con mi equipo a Miami. Creo que realmente
puede terminar.
Creo que realmente es necesario que vaya a Estados Unidos para entrenar.
Yeah, he says this was the first time, and he definitely wants to come back, and he's going to be going back to Miami, Florida, and he believes that training out here is it's going to be something necessary.
Can you ask him what are some of the differences he found in training in America opposed to training in the Dominican Republic?
Néstor quiere saber que, bueno, usted los dice, si cuáles son las cosas que usted miró que fueron diferentes en entrenar aquí en los Estados Unidos y entrenar en la República. ¿Cuáles son las diferencias que usted notó o que vio?
Primeramente estoy apartado de lo que es República Dominicana. No tengo, solo en Estados Unidos solo tengo que hacer boxeo. Cuando estoy aquí tengo mucha gente alrededor y aunque no quiera, en momentos tengo que moverme, tengo que salir y eso. Allá en Estados Unidos estoy encerrado, solo boxeo, los sparring, los entrenamientos son diferentes. O sea, creo que en un 100% es algo diferente.
Yeah, he says that one of the big differences is that when he gets down here to the States, he concentrates only on boxing. He's able to focus a little more. Even though you don't want to, you're in your home country, sometimes, you got to go out and you got to do things. And there's a few more distractions than there would be for him here in the States. And even the sparring is a little different. The training is a little different. So, he sees a few differences in the two.
Can you ask him what was the change, right? Because after the loss to Nathan Gallimore, he went back to don't add more to it. Whatever. After the loss, he started to fight a lot in America and be successful. What does he attribute that to? Like, where's that success come from?
Lo que quiero saber, Néstor, es después de que usted perdió contra Nathan Gallimore, usted empezó mucho aquí en los Estados Unidos, y lo que él quiere saber es que cuál fue qué fue que causó eso, a qué usted lo atribuye.
Bueno, realmente todo ser humano tiene derecho a una segunda oportunidad. Eso fue lo que pasó realmente cuando perdí de Nathan Gallimore. Mi promotor Samson Lekowicz me dio una segunda oportunidad y la aprovechamos al máximo. Aquí estamos siendo campeón del mundo y vamos a ser campeón del mundo por rato.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, he says that after his loss, his promoter, still believed in him, gave him a second chance, and he took advantage of that to the maximum. And here we stand today, champion, and he believes he's going to stay champion for a while.
Ask him how was his reception back home when he got back home with those belts. How did he feel?
Y quiere saber, Nes, que cómo fue el ambiente, cómo fue cuando usted llegó para atrás aquí en la República Dominicana con todos esos cinturones como un campeón. ¿Cómo fue el ambiente que usted recibió? ¿Cómo lo recibieron, la recepción?
Realmente la perspectiva, la gente me esperó con mucho amor, mucho agrado, muchas personas estuvieron ahí esperándome en el aeropuerto. Me dieron una gran bienvenida y todos los dominicanos creo que están orgullosos de mí.
Yeah, he said that, as soon as he arrived in the airplane, they were waiting for them there at the airport. They gave him a lot of love. It was a good reception for him, and yeah.
All right. We got some questions from the people. So first one is just a statement from Seattle, Washington, Dominic, who says, I picked you to win. Great job, champ.
Okay, estamos ahora recibiendo preguntas y a veces en cuando solo son unas cosas que los fans le quieren decir a usted. El primer persona que le quería solamente decir que congratulations por ser campeón y que él lo escogió a usted para ganar.
Oh, de verdad que gracias. Yo sé que había personas que confiaban y que creían y que me habían visto pelear. Y todo el que me había visto pelear sabía que la pelea para William no era fácil.
Yeah, he said thanks, man. A lot of people that did watch me fight and knew how I fought, they believed in me. And I appreciate that.
He also said that that he's proud of that because he knows that Julian Williams wasn't an easy fight and people knew it wasn't an easy fight. The next one is from Rel from Detroit that says, congratulations, champ. You made your country and people proud. Do you still feel you have unfinished business with J-Rock? Great fight, great upset.
Jason dice Rel de Detroit que congratulations en ser campeón y que si usted yes, could you repeat that last one? I'm sorry,
él dice felicidades por ser campeón. Tú hiciste tu país y tu gente orgulloso. Y si tú crees que todavía tiene algo que tiene, how do you say unfinished business? This is why you got to do this.
Si tiene todavía negocio que tiene que terminar con Julian.
Ajá.
¿Cómo? Perdón, repítame.
Just say the question again to me,
do you still feel you have unfinished business with J-Rock?
Si usted todavía se siente como si tiene algo que resolver todavía con Julian, como una segunda pelea para terminar, para ya poner el clavo en la tumba, como dicen.
Bueno, realmente no tengo nada que terminar. Creo que Williams es un gran peleador. Pero sí demostré que soy mucho mejor que él. Realmente hay una cláusula en el contrato donde hay una revancha. No tengo problemas con dársela, él es merecedor de una revancha. Realmente, pero creo que no tengo nada que terminar, ya dejé todo claro esa noche.
Yeah, he said that he doesn't feel like he needs to sort of finish anything or any unfinished business or anything like that. He said that he feels like he proved he was the better fighter, and that it's something that doesn't feel like he has to prove anything. But if it's in the contract, which he says it is, there's a clause in there for a rematch that he's not saying that he won't give it to him. He would give it to him, but he doesn't feel like he needs to finish any unfinished business. He proved his superior skills that day.
All right. The next one is from CYP that says, when you beat J-Rock in the rematch, how many fights will you want before facing the Lion King Charlo?
Le habla CYP allá de California. Le quiere preguntar si ¿cuántas peleas después de... Say that again, Les?
Después que tú le ganes a Williams de nuevo, ¿cuántas peleas necesitas tú para poder confrontar con Jermell Charlo?
No, yo no necesito más peleas. Yo estoy disponible para cuando él quiera. Yo no tengo tiempo, no tengo hora, no tengo lugar. Yo voy a donde sea, el día que sea, donde ellos quieran. Yo no tengo tiempo. Ya este es mi tiempo. Él es un campeón, yo soy un campeón y los campeones pelean con los campeones.
Yeah, he says that he's not waiting for anybody. He's not trying to take any other fights. He's ready for the champs now. He's ready now. He says his time is now. This is his time.
Yeah, he said he's a champ. He wants to fight champs. That's beautiful. I gotta slide one in, man. Ask him, does he ever see a day that in his reign he could bring a fight to DR? Can we get a hometown fight? I know right now he got a rematch clause, so I'm not saying next, but does he feel he can get big enough to get a hometown fight in DR? Make sure you let him know that we know the economics are bad over there.
Okay. ¿Quiere saber, Néstor? Dice Jason que si usted en el futuro, si cree que usted tal vez puede tener una pelea grande allá en la República Dominicana, en su tiempo, traer una pelea allá. Y Néstor también le dice que, bueno, sabemos la economía, ¿verdad? Cómo está, los problemas que tienen. Entonces,
bueno, realmente, yo sí, me gustaría pelear aquí, pero en estos momentos no. Ahora mismo quiero conquistar todos los cinturones de las 154 libras. Quedar como campeón indiscutible. Y hay cosas grandes en Estados Unidos. Hay grandes oportunidades. Creo que realmente en este momento no quiero pelear en mi país. Sí más adelante. Claro que me encantaría.
Yeah, he said he'd love to, but he feels that right now is not the time. He feels like he needs to collect all the belts at 154-pound division, and there's a great opportunity here in America, and later on, he would like to have a fight out there in DR.
All right, we got Ivan Diaz that says, ¿quién eres tu favor rapero en español? Felicidades, campeón.
Oh, gracias. Mi favorito se llama Lápiz Consciente. Lápiz Consciente.
El Lápiz, okay. So the question was in Spanish, guys, and he said, the question was, who's his favorite Spanish rapper? And he said El Lápiz, which translates to pencil. But the pencil, but you can't really say it in English. Like the dude he's official though. He's a Dominican rapper. I know him exactly. All right, the next one is from
like lyricist or whatever.
He's super lyricist.
Yeah,
super.
That's what the pencil mean. Like my pen is mean or whatever.
Okay,
I get it.
7 in Cali says, when me and my nephew started watching your last fight, we were talking as if you were kind of a tune-up for J-Rock in pursuit of Jarrett Hurd rematch. You made fools of us and gained 2 fans and our respect. Good luck in your career, young champ.
Le habla Ivan Díaz de...
not Ivan, 7.
Que él estaba bien. Oh, that's 7, I'm sorry. 7 le dice que él estaba viendo la pelea con su nephew y
sobrino.
Ellos pensaban que usted entonces ellos pensaban que usted era como una pelea solo para calentar a Julian para tener la revancha con Jarrett Hurd, pero que usted los hizo a ellos creadores de usted y ahora tienen 2 nuevos fanáticos.
Bueno,
Okay,
ellos dijeron...
Gracias, de verdad.
Ellos, se le olvidó una parte, Ellos dijeron que tú lo hiciste ver como dos payasos y ganaste dos fanáticos y su respeto.
No, gracias, de verdad. Eso es lo que quiero, hacer fanáticos, que la gente vea que hay dominicanos buenos, que hay dominicanos que sacan la cara por dominicana. Es realmente, de verdad que gracias por el apoyo.
Yeah, he says thank you for the for the support. And sometimes there's some Dominicans that I don't even know how to translate that idiom, but I guess he's saying that they kind of show up for their people.
Yeah, and he said that's what he wants is to create new fans. The next one is a question he already answered, so we're just giving a shout out to Christian Camillo, who basically asks, is there a rematch clause? And he already said, yes, there is. Steve in Chicago says, congratulations, champ, which is felicidades, all right, Alex? He says, congratulations, champ. Do you believe, who do you believe will be the toughest challenge at 154?
Felicidades por ser campeón, y también le quiere preguntar que cuál usted cree va a ser la pelea más difícil en el peso 154.
Creo que realmente son todas difíciles. En este nivel ya todas las peleas son difíciles. Creo que J. Marshall Law es un gran peleador, es un gran campeón. Creo que Tony Harrison, Ned Gaimon, Exxon Lubin, son buenos peleadores todos. Son peleas duras, son peleas que tengo que prepararme al 100 y ir al máximo para poder ganarles, como hice con Williams.
Yeah, he says that all these guys are elite fighters, and he has to be very well prepared in order to face any one of these guys. So can't really pinpoint it. Any of these guys can be dangerous.
We tell him we gotta. Let me just tell him this. How do you say super chat, huh? Well, okay, so Jason, tenemos un mensaje en vivo de Francisco que dice, dominicano soy, mi campeón Rosario.
Oye, gracias, de verdad que eso me hace sentir orgulloso, me motiva mucho más, y realmente son personas que están apostando a mí y no lo voy a defraudar, voy a dar todo para que esas personas se sientan bien cada vez que vean una pelea de Jason Banana Rosario.
He said, thank you for the support. It's this type of thing that motivates me more, fills me full of being prideful, for all my people. And thank you for the support.
All right, the next one is from Cisco Promotions, who says, how was J-Rock's power, and did you expect to win by TKO?
La próxima pregunta es que si cuando usted peleó contra Julian, si sintió poder en la pegada de Julian, y si usted, what was the last part?
Dame ver.
¿Cómo?
Ok, la pregunta es si tú sentiste la fuerza de Julian y si supiste que iba a ganar por nocaut.
Bueno, realmente sabía que tenía que ganar en Filadelfia. Si era por decisión, tenía que ser una decisión muy muy amplia. Y si era por la otra vía, tenía que ser por nocaut. Realmente sí, yo sabía que iba a ganar. No sabía de qué forma, pero sí le decía a mi esquina, yo sí tengo seguridad de que cuando Julian Williams cruce conmigo guantes, no va a querer volver a seguir cruzando guantes.
Yeah, he said that he was confident he was going to win. He didn't know how he was going to win, but he kept telling his corner that he was going to win, and he knew that once he started boxing with Julian on the inside and trading punches, that Julian wasn't going to want to trade punches with him.
All right, the next one is from Caesar, and it's in Spanish, so I'll do my best. La próxima viene de César de Las Vegas. Está en español, so voy a hacer lo mejor que puedo porque Jason, yo nací aquí. Felicidades, campeón. ¿Cómo celebraste tu gran victoria? Mucha suerte en el futuro. No, en tu futuro.
Gracias, de verdad. Bueno, mi victoria la celebré con mi gente, dando gracias a Dios primeramente y riendo, gozándonos, las personas diciéndome, como dicen aquí en Dominicana, wow, mataste a ese tipo, wow, le diste con el mangú a ese tipo.
Oh, man.
Go ahead, do me translate.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. He said even though he feels good, you know, when people tell him, you know, hey man, you hit that guy, you know, with the banana, you know, you demolished him.
Nah, well, the first part was he said first of all I celebrated giving glory to God with my family and friends, and then I was having a lot of fun because people would come up to me and say that, you know, I hit him with the Plátano Power, or, you know, I killed this guy in the ring. So, you know, he's just very, very proud. The next one is from Chris. Let me ask him real quick. Jason, ¿todavía tiene tiempo? No te quiero tener mucho tiempo si tienes que irte. Tengo un par de preguntas más, pero si tú estás ocupado, está bien.
No, dale, no importa.
Oh, okay.
No importa, estamos aquí.
Okay, gracias. All right, so we got the next one. Doomy coming from Christopher Riley says, since your manager said you're not fighting Charlo, would you be open to facing Terrell Gausha? Eric, well, we already know he's got a rematch clause, so, and he said he does want Charlo. But thank you, Christopher Riley. Next one is from Matt Bent. Time for the real 4 question. Why? Oh, perfect question. Why is the name Banana?
Ahora es tiempo para las preguntas duras. ¿Por qué el nombre Banana?
Oh, Banana viene mi manager tiene fama de poner esos apodos así bien controversiales. Realmente me dicen Banana por la fuerza, por el béisbol de aquí, Plátano Power, lo conocen casi todo el mundo como Plátano Power. Y eso es lo que tengo en los puños, Plátano Power.
He says that, you know, it's something that they say out there in DR, you know, it's kind of like a common saying, like an idiom, you know, it's like, you know, you got the banana power, which it translated into the Spanish is the Plátano power. It's just sort of like a saying they got there, you know, it comes from baseball, they say it in baseball too, but, you know, that's basically where the name came from, and you know, power is what I got.
All right. We got Dr. Mofongo, who his question is in Spanish, so I got to do this again. Okay, esta pregunta en español, so tengo que tratar otra vez. Esto viene de Nueva York, de un dominicano que se llama Dr. Mofongo. Felicidades, campeón, por tu gran victoria. ¿Piensas pelear en Nueva York después de tu gran victoria para recibir el apoyo de la comunidad dominicana? Washington Heights está con el equipo Banana. Pa'lante, Jason. Damn, I did good.
Wow. Gracias. Realmente sí hay planes de pelear en Brooklyn, en el Barclays Center, muy posible. Estamos esperando confirmación de lucha. Hay mucha posibilidad de que sí estemos peleando en Nueva York.
Pero espérate, Doomy, wait. So, Jason, tú estás diciendo que la revancha puede ser en el Barclays Center.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, go ahead, Doomy.
Eso es tremendo. Yeah, he says, wow, yeah, man. There's there's a possibility of, you know, me fighting in Brooklyn in the Barclays Center. You know, there's definitely
versus
opportunity
Williams
to fight in New York for sure. Versus Williams, possibly, because that's not exactly what he said, right?
Mr. Sims says, "Congrats, champ. I loved your fight. It was thrilling. Your hydration was great. I thought you was like 175. What did you weigh on fight night?"
Felicidades, campeón, por la pelea que tuviste. Tú te mirabas como si la hidratación que hiciste fue perfecta. Te mirabas como un peso de 175. ¿Cómo fue la hidratación que hiciste?
¿La qué?
Cuando uno pierde el peso y se pone los líquidos para atrás, que cuando tú entraste a ring, él te miró bien grande. Que él cree que Ajá.
Sí, ok. Mira, realmente mi preparador físico, Ramón Age, trabajó para eso. Él me decía siempre que cuando subiera al ring iba a subir fuerte, iba a subir grande y no iba a subir lento.
He said his physical trainer absolutely prepared him for that, told him that he was going to be in that ring stronger, feeling good. And, his instructor prepared him well for that.
And he said, looking bigger. Tell him that the last one comes from Sweden. Killer says, "Congratulations on the victory and becoming champion. Who are your favorite fighters and what all-time fighter do you think you emulate the most?"
Aquí este fanático le viene de Suecia. Le está diciendo felicidades por ser campeón. Y que, what was the last part? I'm sorry, cracking up there.
Who are his favorite fighters and who does he emulate the most?
¿Cuáles son sus favoritos peleadores? ¿Y cuál peleador usted más quita de su estilo y lo usa en el ring?
Bueno, realmente de quitar el estilo y eso, no soy mucho. Tengo un estilo como diría mezclado. Puedo boxear, pero me gusta pelear, me encanta, me gusta darme puños. Y mi peleador favorito se llama Manny Pacquiao. Eso es una bestia.
Yeah, he says, he doesn't really emulate too many fighters in the ring, you know what I mean? But, he can box pretty good, somebody like Erslandy Lara. But he likes to fight, he likes to trade punches. And definitely, he said that his all-time favorite fighter is Manny Pacquiao. He's a beast.
Can you ask him if there's anyone in his gym in DR that he thinks could make it and that we might get to see on TV one day?
¿Quieres saber, Néstor, si ahí en su gym en la República Dominicana, si usted tiene tal vez a otro joven que está peleando y que tal vez puede también tener un éxito y hacer un buen peleador y pelear y tal vez verlo aquí en los Estados Unidos?
Sí, no, claro, hay muchos peleadores. Por ejemplo, Carlos Adames es un peleador tremendo, creo que puede ser campeón del mundo. Hay prospectos que no lo conoce nadie, que están surgiendo y están subiendo fuerte, como lo es José Miguel La Mamba Galvez, como es Starling Almonte. Son muchachos que no lo conoce nadie, pero que tienen gran talento, tienen gran potencial para estar en la cima del estrellato.
Yeah, he says absolutely. There's some good talent there in DR. Carlos Adamek, which he believes he's going to be a champion one day, and there's a couple of other guys that he mentioned right now. I didn't get their full name. I know one of them was Carlos Mamba, I think it was, but there's two other fighters he speaks of that nobody really knows. He said, these guys are not really too known, but they're climbing the ranks right now, doing their thing, and he believes that they have a bright future in the sport too.
Well, Mike, you don't have anything? All right, well, if you can just thank him for coming on, ask him to give out any social media, man, and tell him we truly appreciate his time.
Bueno, Jason, vamos a terminar el interview, pero le queremos decir muchas gracias aquí por compartir con nosotros aquí en The Boxing Voice. Y si usted quiere dar cualquiera de sus redes sociales ahora mismo para que todos los fanáticos que no lo que no la tienen, la tengan, y esos que no todavía lo quieren conocer más, tal vez que oigan esas redes sociales para seguirlo y apoyarlo en su campeón.
Perfecto. Mi Instagram es de banana rayita abajo, no, perdón, de rayita abajo banana 07.
Ok, ¿tiene Facebook, otras redes sociales tal vez?
Jason Manuel Rosario, Facebook.
Ok. Bueno, entonces yo soy el translador. Jason, fue un placer aquí hacer este translation aquí para usted. Muchas gracias. Ahí lo voy a dejar ahora con Nestor Gibbs y Mike Ross, que son los que están ahora en el YouTube show.
Bueno, gracias Jason. Nada más quería pedirte las gracias por venir al programa y esperamos seguir tu carrera y volver a tenerte aquí cuando ya tenga su pelea oficial y tenemos, tú sabes, la línea abierta cuando tú quieras venir a la plataforma y tenga algo que decir, está abierto siempre.
Gracias, hermano. Gracias, muchas gracias. Gracias a ustedes por darme la oportunidad de estar ahí conversando con ustedes. Gracias por su apoyo. Bendiciones. Que Dios bendiga a todos los oyentes. Realmente me siento agradecido, de verdad.
Ok. Pues pase buena noche y que Dios te bendiga, Jason. Gracias por hacerle el país de nosotros.
Igual.
Super proud. Don't know how to say that in Spanish, but you get it. Gracias.
No, si Néstor ahorita no cabe ahorita, porque usted le hizo el campeón.
Gracias. Pasen buenas.
Okay. There you have it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Rosario, DR's, I want to say first unified champ. I don't see why P will Google it. But, bruh, crazy, man. Crazy. Very good interview. People saying Ness put his name on the screen. If you don't know who this is, that's kind of poor of you.
Not really, man. You can't say that. I mean, it was a major upset 2 weeks ago.
Exactly. So how don't you know his name? Major upsets are major upsets.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I guess it wasn't on the level of Andy Ruiz upset, but it's Jason Jeison Rosario Rosario. Jason Rosario. I mean Jason Rosario. I keep on saying Jason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I keep pronouncing it Jennison too. We should have asked him that, man, because let me tell you, they fuck shit up over here in America. I guarantee you his grandmother probably named him Jason, right? It's not Jason. It's probably like Jason. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, shit be weird out there. And he didn't get my question the right way. What I meant was, does he feel he'll get to a level that he could bring a major fight to DR? Not does he want to fight in DR, because my man was like, hell no, I'm good. I already fought here. I want to fight over there. Everything is in America. There's a lot of opportunity in America. I'm like, damn, he deflated me, champ. I want you to bring it back home. I want you to be in such high demand you could bring it back home. So,
and you see what the different of training venues for one fight.
Yeah.
One fight.
Yeah.
Came in and went to Miami. Oh, this how whoa.
Yeah, but there was something else though, Mike. I'm telling you, after that loss, my man had one DR fight. Well, actually two, but they were spread out. It was one tune-up in DR, and then everything was in America. So even though
did he lose one more after Gallimore?
Nah, he got a draw, but he got
a draw. Okay,
but he did that. He beat that dude by knockout too. He went back and rematched him.
Hernandez, right?
And that's the funny thing is, yo, like, bruh, like he secretly, jumped on the scene, right? He jumped in there with Gallimore, first America fight. That's the first America fight. So that probably was the mistake right there. But Gallimore put it on him. We're going to have Gallimore on Thursday. Gallimore dropped him motherfucking like 3 times just in one round. So then after that, he went to DR. He beat an undefeated dude that was really novice. Then he came back to America Hard Rock Casino in Vegas. Then he fought Mark Hernandez, Madman in El Paso, got a draw. But then he fought Deloach, beat Deloach. Then he beat
Cannonball
Jamonte Clark.
He the one who beat Jamonte.
Yeah, then he beat Juan Rodriguez. Then he went back and avenged the draw with Madman Hernandez, Marco.
Did he knock out Jamonte? Or
decision.
Okay,
Let me double check. Decision.
Jamonte, boy. Don't get
Decision.
knocked out.
So then he did knock out Hernandez.
I watched that fight.
And then he went the draw, not the draw, but the split decision with Corta, who just beat up the Lamana. And then he knocked out Williams in 5.
That's what threw me off, bro. That's the
Dakota win.
Because I was like, man, Rosario pretty good. Then I seen him again. Like, Coach took him, like, you go out. I thought you go. I didn't know, bro. I didn't know he was going to
but now we know why. Because Coda was a DR training camp. Bro, I'm telling you,
true.
Where he going to find 154 pounders in DR? On Williams level, I'm just keeping it real, bro. I showed Doomy the gym today, bro. The floor is porcelain tile, bro. He got to get out of there. It ain't even got walls. It's cylinder block and in bars. You know what I'm saying? So it's free air. Nah, bro. Let's do that shit over here, champ. Yo, I think Keith. I think Keith mad because
I was.
I know, but I know you was, but it's like
I know.
You know, I figured he bumped me. I could bump him because he was scheduled for 8. Then he was like, "Yo, son came up." I'm like, "Cool." Then I slid Jason in there. So I mean, I text him, and
he takes back, man. Hey, man.
You know, I just hit him. Are you free? If he's not free, it's all goody. Man, shout out to Jason, man, for coming on the show. Let's get to some of these callers in the meantime while I wait. Oh, he's free. All right, let me just
Here we go.
Let me just have him call in.
I go ahead and do your thing. But yeah, man, big ups to Jason, you know what I'm saying? My guy Rosario, call him Mr. 3-time. What? Mr. 3-time. He got the IBO, the IBF, and the WBA, man. Big ups to him, man. I'm proud. Hey, man, that right there, man, changed it like your whole life. And he gonna be main stage at the Barclays Center. Bro, that's big for him. Man. And I'm surprised that Julian Williams actually had a rematch clause. That's shocking to me.
You heard Eddie. You won't be doing your job. You send your guy in there without a rematch clause, man. That's standard. That's standard. That's standard, bro. And now you see why. Man. Now you see why, because upsets happen, so it's standard.
Upsets happen, but like, if Earl would told me, man, I gotta go ahead.
Nah, no problem. We got Keith Connolly, manager of Daniel Jacobs, Adam Kovnacki, Richard Comey. Keith, man, thank you for taking out the time to come on the show. Sorry for the slightly late, connection due to Jason Rosario. Do want to wish you a happy new year. And once again, thank you for taking out the time to talk a little bit of boxing with us. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, guys.
So, am I missing anyone?
How you guys doing?
I named all your big players, but I don't know if you're working on anything or you have any new guys you might have signed. Is it still just Daniel Jacobs, Adam Kovnacki, Richard Comey? Who else?
Well, I got Marcus Brown.
That's right.
Sergey Derevyanchenko.
There you go.
Edgar Berlanga. Chris Algieri's in the mix. We got Rashad Matty and Nikita Bobby, 2 up-and-coming guys. I have a bunch of guys. I have about 14 or 15 guys right now, but those are the guys that are going to really be in the mix this year coming up.
All those names are great names, let me tell you. I am in love with Berlanga. He's going to be a star. I can see him doing big things in New York City. When did you envision him headlining something in Madison Square Garden?
I would say sometime next year. There's a plan I have with Top Rank where he'll fight 4 times this year. He's going to fight every 3 months starting March 14th. But yeah, I mean, he's got everything. He's got the looks, the charisma, the swag. He's got the punching power. I mean, he's the type of guy that, years down the road could be a potential pay-per-view star. I mean, he checks all the boxes. If you do a list of pros and cons, he's got 10 pros and 0 cons at the moment. So yeah, I think he could be one of New York's superstars of the future.
Now, is there a June date secured for him to take advantage of the Puerto Rican Day Parade the way we used to do with Miguel Cotto and Tito Trinidad and any other popular Puerto Rican fighter in the New York City area?
We have discussed that. We haven't finalized anything on that. At the moment, we're finalizing an opponent for March 14th. And then, once that's done, I'll start to have talks with Top Rank about that. But, I know Madison Square Garden loves him. I mean, they absolutely love him. They think he's the type of guy that can headline that type of date. So, this year I don't think he'd be headlining it, but if they have a card that night in the theater or in the Garden, he would definitely be a major part of that. But I could see it, next June, 2021, him headlining the night before the Puerto Rican Day Parade. That would be the goal.
How's it going, Mr. Connolly? My name is Michael Gross.
How's it going, Michael?
It's going pretty good. I just want to kind of get like a quick overview of how you guys started in the business of managing fighters and things like that.
Well, I started about 12, 13 years ago with Danny Jacobs. He was my first fighter. It's kind of like any boxing manager. They kind of, they have other things going on in their lives, other businesses, and then they kind of fall into it. I don't think anybody, when they're growing up says, I want to go to school and I want to start being a boxing manager when I get out of college. It just doesn't work like that. So I met Danny Jacobs as a teenager. I was with him in the amateurs, and when he decided to turn pro, he wanted me on his team, and that's kind of how everything started, and it's kind of snowballed since then.
Wow. That's actually impressive, man, because to start with Danny and end up with the stable that you have, you've made some serious connections in 12 years. So God bless, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, things. I really only started really kicking things into high gear in the last 2 or 3 years. It wasn't something I was looking to do. It was something that kind of just happened, word of mouth and common people that got me together with these guys. And I think if you do a good job and you look out for the fighter, things really start to steamroll like they have. But I'm definitely looking to kick things into even a higher gear in the next couple of years and build something big here.
Speaking of Daniel Jacobs, do you know why him and his training went with him and
Andre Rozier split? Why did he and Andre Rozier split?
I mean, listen, that's between those two guys. Those guys have known each other for 17 years. They will be meeting up together in the next month, a meeting that I'm setting up. They will be sitting down, and we'll see what happens in that meeting. But they've known each other for a long time. It's like any relationship. Stuff happens in relationships when you're with somebody for a long period of time, and when you're in the gym 5 days a week with somebody, sometimes things happen. Sometimes people grow apart. But in the end, I know Danny and Andre, they both love each other, and I've actually spoken to both of them, and there is an upcoming meeting in the next month or so, and they love each other, and we'll see where we go from there. But I don't want to get into any details. That's a personal thing between those two guys, and I'm optimistic that when they meet up in a month or so, that they'll be friends again, and they can move forward.
Real quick, is that meeting just to be friends and smooth things over again, or to bring back the trainer-fighter dynamic?
I'm not going to get into where that could lead, because once something like that gets out there, and then there's certain expectations of if they will or won't get back together, that's not going to be my decision. That'll be something that comes down to how that meeting goes. And I just don't like that the fight got out in the public. I don't think that was the right way to handle it. But when things happen, sometimes things happen that shouldn't happen, which is a public dispute. I've arranged a meeting between the two of those guys, and I think that's why you don't really see anything out there in the public in the last month or so. It's things have kind of quieted down, because there is a meeting where these guys will come to some sort of terms to squash the beef, and I think it's a little bit ridiculous that it went public. I was hoping that neither guy would do that, but it did go public, and that's regrettable. It's something I couldn't stop, but hopefully that this meeting that's been set up for the two guys, it'll be a positive meeting, and there'll be no hard feelings when the meeting's over with.
I just want to say that's amazing on your part to at least set that meeting up. I know Andre for a long time, and I only know Jacobs with Andre. He's always called him his son. So, it would be great to have that smoothed over. That being said, the Jacobs and Chavez fight, it did well, and I'm wondering if because the way it turned out and Chavez, his father, and somehow a fraction of fans believe Jacobs head-bunted Chavez, are you guys planning on doing that again? Or are you just going to run with logical boxing fans who've seen that Jacobs hit him with an uppercut?
There's been zero talk of a rematch. If you go back to the tape, I think with like 40 seconds left in the fifth round, it was an uppercut that broke the nose. And about 8 to 10 seconds later, Danny hit him with an overhand right that opened the cut, and he broke his nose in 4 pieces. Chavez was in the hospital for 3 days after the fight, getting a reconstructive surgery. So I think what kind of stole Danny's thunder was when Brian Kenny said that Chavez broke his hand, when really Chavez was saying, I broke my nose. So I think the announcer saying the wrong thing kind of made it look like Chavez quit, which he did, but he quit because Danny blasted his nose into 5 pieces. So I think Danny should be given a lot of credit where he got in the ring with a guy that was 25 pounds heavier than him, looked like a giant compared to Danny. Danny figured him out after a round and a half, started putting his punches together, and shattered the guy's nose, which is something nobody else has done. Canelo didn't do that. Canelo pounded him for 12 rounds and couldn't make the guy quit. So I think Danny should be given a lot more credit than what people are giving him.
What's next for Mr. Jacobs? When can we expect him back in the ring, and against who? Like, does he get a title shot? Because I know Eddie got Billy Joe and Callum Smith at 168.
I'm actually supposed to sit down with Eddie, or when I say sit down, it could be in person, could be over the phone. He's going to bring me a list of guys. I'll talk to him about guys that we're thinking about, and then I'll do what I always do. I'll go and I'll sit down with Danny, and we'll talk over the different options, and Danny will decide who he wants to fight, because in the end, it's the fighter's decision who he wants to fight. So that's all up in the air right now, but a lot of that should clear up here in probably, I would say, the next 2 or 3 weeks, because contractually Danny has to have a fight by the last day in May. And,
oh, wow,
we're already in February pretty much here, and May's right around the corner.
So Danny has, like, checkpoints in his contract, like, say, the last day of May, then the last day of October or something like that?
He has to have a fight by the end of May.
Nice.
He has to have a fight by the end of May, correct.
We got some questions from the public. Rue in the 504, which is New Orleans, says, with Derevchenko being elevated to #1 spot in the WBC, is there any plans for him to take on Jamal Charlo?
That's obviously a position we've been put in to where I think that could be a possibility by the end of this year. We'll see how things work out. But, I mean, after Derevchenko's performance, he's open to fight any of the big guys. And there's no guy that you could put him against where the public would say, oh, that's a nothing fight. He's a live dog in any of those fights. And I don't care what anybody says. Everybody knows he won that Triple G fight. I think somebody told me there were like 19 press row reporters that judged the fight, like 17 out of 19 scored it for Derevchenko. So I know I am biased, and I am, but I think most people think Derevchenko won. So if it's a Derevchenko-Charlo fight, if it's a Triple G rematch at some point, or if it's an Andrade fight, any of those fights, they're 50-50 fights. Or 60-40 fights. None of those fights are, Derevchenko's not a walkover for anybody, but I've had no discussions with Heyman to this point in the immediate, term to set him up against Charlo.
According to Lou in his interview yesterday that went very public, he said that after Derevchenko's performance, where everyone believes he beat Gennady Golovkin, he's got 0 calls from Top Rank, PBC, or DAZN to air Derevchenko. Does that worry you as the manager?
No, not at all. Because I know I can get Derevchenko a fight. Let it be a good warm up fight after that Triple G fight, and then get him into a big fight. I don't know why Lou said that. I have no idea what Lou's discussions have been as far as getting an offer or not an offer. I don't want to talk for Lou, so I'm not saying he's not right. Maybe he hasn't gotten an offer, but I think I could get. I'm confident I can get a fight for Derevchenko by the summer. So that's all I want to comment on that.
No problem.
Why do you think nobody is out here actively demanding the Gennady rematch, seeing as how the fight played out? Because I'm like you, bro. I thought Derevchenko won. I wasn't even a discussion. So I'm wondering why nobody is demanding that rematch and not got him going to the WBC. Put it back in the IBF rankings.
Well, politics and favoritism. I mean, that's the truth, right? You guys are the media, so you guys are the ones that should be beating the drum. I beat the drums behind the scenes. Triple G, I've been told his people have said they have 0 interest in fighting Derevchenko again. 0. So, I mean, we got screwed in the decision. They won the title, and they're going to avoid us. And if I was his manager, I'd probably be doing the same thing. But I think it's more the media and the television networks. You guys are the guys that have to demand that fight. But, if you read the comments and some of these articles, everybody is saying Derevchenko won the fight. I would say 80 to 90% of the people. And everybody is saying that Triple G should give him a rematch. So you guys should be beating the drum to make that happen, I think. And I'm doing that behind the scenes with, as far as my stance on it. But, you need public demand to demand the fight.
We got another one from Dual Ingram says, do you think the Muhammad Ali Act is antiquated, or do you think it still serves a purpose in today's boxing world?
I still think it serves a purpose because it pretty much forces for there to be a manager and a promoter, 2 separate guys that you could be friendly with each other, but you're really on the other side of the table. The promoter's out there trying to make the most amount of money for his company, which he should, and the manager's out there trying to take as much of that money that the promoter's making. So, I think it's a good system. I think it's worked, and I'm sure some instances it hasn't worked, but it's really about the fighter making the right decision on who they pick as a manager and a promoter. I think if you're going to be successful in this business, you need both. You need a successful manager and a successful promoter. If you have that combination, you're going to make a lot of money over a long period of time if you can fight. If you pick up the wrong manager and the right promoter and you can fight, a lot of times things can go awry. So, I mean, the only advice I could give to fighters is make sure you have a top-notch promoter and a top-notch manager, and, you can go really far in this business.
In your experience, who is the easiest promoter to get a deal done with?
I mean, I have relationships with all of them, so I haven't had a problem getting a deal done with Eddie or PBC or Top Rank. I've done a lot of deals with Lou DiBella as well, so I haven't really had a problem getting deals done with anybody. If you have the product, which is the right fighter, and you have a relationship with the promoter, it's not as hard as one would think. Not that I don't have to fight tooth and nail to get my guys a lot of money, but at the end of the day, if you have the relationship with the promoter, you can get deals done.
Obviously, like we told you, Lou had a lot of interesting things to say. So we have another one from Jay who says, Lou had a lot of interesting things to say about networks and promoters in recent interviews. Have you ever experienced or heard of network blacklisting a certain promoter or his fighters? I don't know if you heard Lou's recent interviews,
I'm not gonna.
but he's been very vocal, saying that people are making it hard for him to exist in this business.
I'm not going to comment on what Lou said. I have no idea if what Lou is saying is true or not because I'm not in Lou's shoes. So,
no problem.
I'm not going to comment in a negative way or a positive way on what Lou said because I'm just not in his shoes and I don't know what he's dealing with.
Well, let me give you a scenario. Do you feel like it is a unfair advantage because sometimes like the big promoters can outbid like smaller promoters and not really give them a chance to let their fighter really blossom and get to that level where they can just be fruitful on their own? Because looking at like the big three, Matchroom, Top Rank, and PBC, there's no way Luke can compete, right? Like just thinking logically, there's no way like he can compete because he can't offer his guys the exposure that a ESPN, a DAZN, or a Fox can.
Well, life isn't fair, and nobody's going to give anybody anything in this world. You got to go out and get it yourself, right? So, I mean, you could go and say that about any business, right? I mean, the big banks can crush. Yeah. Excuse me?
Not necessarily.
Well, let me ask you a question. If I wanted to become a manager for baseball players, would Scott Boras have an unfair advantage over Keith Connolly? Of course, because he's been doing it for 30 years. He's made the biggest deals, and he's going to be able to squash me like a grape. So, but I don't want to take anything away from Scott Boras. He's put the work in, and he's done the job. So Eddie went out and got a DAZN deal. Al went out and got his deals. Top Rank's gotten their deals. I mean, I'm not going to put people down for going out and succeeding. I'm not a promoter, so I don't really know what Lou goes through on a day-to-day basis. I'm a manager. I have enough of things to worry about on my side of the table. I have to compete with other managers, trying to get the best fighters out there. So, I can't really comment, and I don't want to comment on something like that because I'm just not in Lou's shoes or the other guy's shoes on the other side of the table.
No problem. Listen, Keith, whatever you can't answer, you can't answer. We have no qualms with that. Carlito in the UK says, given that you have a good relationship with Eddie and Al, which champion would it be easier to get Jacobs a shot at, Saunders or Smith? Saunders Smith or Benavidez Plant?
I could make a deal on both sides of the table. I think I've proven that if there's a fight out there that I want for my fighter, I can work with both sides of the table to make it happen. So I think all those fights would be just as easy to make for me. I don't think any of them would be that hard.
All right.
I'm a little bit different. A lot of managers have all their fighters at one promoter. I think I'm one of the guys that has guys at different factions because I'm not going to limit my guys to one side of the street. I'm looking to do what's in the best interest of the fighter to make the fighter the most amount of money. And in the end, it's the fighter's decision who he wants to fight. So, if Danny wanted to fight somebody on the PBC side, I could go to Eddie and tell Eddie, hey, Danny wants to fight this guy. Let's make this fight. And, Eddie wouldn't stop it. He's not that type of guy. And everybody knows how I work. They know that I'm going to try to make the fights that my guys want. And I think a lot of fighters are scared of promoters and they look at it as, oh, I work for them. I always tell the fighter, you're the boss. The manager and the promoter work for you. So you need to let me know what fight you want and what you want to do, and then I'll go make it happen. So, I have a great relationship with Al. I talk to him every single day. I have a great relationship with Eddie. I don't think any of those fights would be hard to make.
All right, we have another one from Jemmy in Delaware that says, what is the relationship between Andrade and Jacobs? They never seem to call each other out. And is that a fight Daniel Jacobs would entertain since they're both on DAZN and Matchroom?
They are really good friends. Danny's now at 168, and I know Andrade has that title at 160, and I don't think he wants to give that up to move to 168. So I don't think that fight's going to happen anytime soon. But you know how boxing is. A couple of years from now, if everybody's fought each other and they're the two guys that are around and they haven't fought each other, it could happen, but I don't see it happening in the foreseeable future just because they're in different weight classes.
All right, I think you've answered these next two, but I'll give them quick shout-outs. Mr. Sim says, are you pushing for Jacobs to get a title shot? Saunders or Smith? You said you're going to have a meeting, so you won't answer that. Caesar in Las Vegas says, thank you for answering the fans' questions. Will GGG ever rematch Derevyanchenko, and do you believe that Derevyanchenko was robbed? You've answered both of those. Teddy B from the EC says, can you give me a small breakdown in how the Ali Act changed relationships between managers and promoters? That's a good one.
I mean, the Ali Act has been around for a while right now. So it was always in existence since I've been in the business. So I couldn't really speak to that. You'd have to ask somebody that's been a manager for, 30 years. Maybe a Shelley Finkel would be a good guy to answer that question, because he was in the business probably for a long time before that was instituted, and now he's been in the business a long time after it was instituted. But, I mean, the Ali Act is good. I think it helps protect the fighter, and, it puts somebody like myself in a position to fight tooth and nail to make, as much money for the fighter as I can. So I think it's a good thing. I mean, any laws could probably be changed and reworked to make them better, but I think overall the Ali Act, it's been great for boxing.
Was Dominic Brazil ever a legitimate option for Adam Kownacki?
Good question.
Yeah, he was.
What was the thought process of getting the guy that he stopped? Well, not him, but the guy.
We were brought. I'm sorry. We were brought 3 guys, and we said we'd fight all 3. We didn't turn down anybody.
Really? So
Hellenius was a guy where
So how did it end up on Hellenius and not Brazil?
We were brought 3 guys. We said yes to all 3, and that's the guy that I guess made the most business sense for PBC. We were team players, so Adam's not afraid of anybody. He'll fight anybody. So Dominic Brazil talked a lot of shit about Adam. We said we would fight him, and for whatever reason, maybe he priced himself out. I don't know, but we said yes to Dominic Brazil.
Well, at least
we'll fight him the same night after we knock out Hellenius if he wants.
At least we know there's interest in a Brazil Adam fight for the future, which is a good thing. We got the next one from Dominic in Seattle. Says, is Marcus Brown really getting the rematch with John Pascal, who I consider Sean Porter's big brother when it comes to being a dog fighter? I guess he's happy.
I'm in the middle of talking about that with Al right now. We'll probably know what direction we're heading in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I have a lot of fighters right now that, a lot of things are going to clear up in the next couple of weeks. And Marcus Brown is one of them.
All right.
But we would definitely fight Marcus Brown next. We're not looking to... Marcus Brown wants Pascal next.
All right. We have the next one from Farik in Sweden, who says, what are the plans for Adam Kownacki in 2020 and 2021?
Well, I guess we got to see what happens in the Wilder-Fury fight, if they actually have a third fight next. If not, Adam would like to fight Wilder after Hellenius. If we have to hang around and wait for Wilder and Fury to fight a couple of times, we'll fight Wilder in 2021. Maybe we'll fight a guy like Dominic Brazil, in August, September. So I could see something like that happening. So we're kind of just waiting and we're fighting, guys in the top 20 and waiting for Wilder to be free to fight us. And obviously, he's got to get by Fury.
What changed? I feel like last we spoke, you didn't necessarily think Adam was ready for Wilder. Now you guys want him this year?
Well, if we beat Hellenius, I told everybody I thought he needed 1 or 2 more fights after the Areola fight. The Hellenius fight, March 7th, will be that one fight. Everybody's telling me Fury and Wilder have 2 fights left, before they're done with each other. So that would be that second fight I was talking about, which would be August, September. That could be a guy like Dominic Brazil or somebody else. And then we'd be ready for Wilder in 2021. But I think if he knocks out Hellenius here, which I expect him to, and then Wilder, let's just say Wilder Fury don't fight a third time, and that fight is available for us, we would make the Wilder fight.
Well, does a Andy Ruiz fight make sense for Kornacki if he can't get the Wilder fight instead of fighting Brazil?
To be honest with you, I have to think about that. You know, Adam's in a really good position right now. Most guys would just say, yeah, why not? We'll fight anybody. I'd have to think about that. I wouldn't totally rule that out, but I'd have to see what was available and how soon we could get Wilder. And, because I have to be smart. I have Adam in a good position right now. He's a brand at the Barclays. He sells a lot of tickets. And he's a guy that can get a title fight because, one, he's in the top 10, and two, he's a big ticket seller. So, I want to be careful with him, and Andy Ruiz is a crafty guy. I think my guy can beat Andy Ruiz, but it all depends on what happens with the Wilder-Fury fight and how we look with Hellenius. I'd probably be able to answer that question a lot better, a month and a half from now.
All right, we got one from Steve in Chicago that says, do you believe the sport of boxing is growing with all the money being poured into it at this current time?
I think we don't have the answer to that yet. I feel like boxing has gotten bigger than it was 2 years ago. I think the Fox deal was huge. I mean, most of their telecasts are getting like 1.8 to 2.2 million viewers, the primetime Fox shows. Obviously, Dazn was great for the business, for the boxers, brought in a lot of money and brought in new platforms. So I believe it's bigger than 2 years ago. Hopefully it can sustain it. I think we'll get the real answer to that question 3 years down the road if all of this type of stuff and all these new platforms coming in worked. But I think it's I don't think it's hurt the sport yet. I think if anything it has helped.
How do you feel about two title fights being on the undercard under a YouTube fight?
To me, I don't get caught up in all that. Okay. I mean, if it's going to bring more eyes into boxing, I think it's a good thing. I'm not one of these people that says, "Oh, it's killing boxing. It's tarnishing boxing's reputation." Hey, if it brings in an extra 300,000-400,000 young people to watch the sport, and maybe out of those, 300,000 or 400,000 people that are only watching it for the YouTubers, if 20, 30, 40, 50,000 kids become boxing fans, that's only a good thing. So I'm not going to be negative on that. I'm not the type of guy that really gets too negative on things. I don't like to get caught up in negativity, but so I don't think it's a bad thing for boxing. I have no problem with it.
Well, I'll just add today's weigh-in had 17,000 people watching on the Sky Sports YouTube channel. No other weigh-in, not named Pacquiao's, Mayweather's. Huh?
He had way more than that.
Who?
Sky Sports.
No. Before it went live, it had 17,000 people waiting. Okay. So it's definitely doing some sort of good. All right, our last question, Keith. I know you've been here long, and we want to thank you, obviously, once again for your time. We do appreciate it. Last one is coming from right here in New Jersey. Andre Diakonu says, what is the role of Al Heyman? Is he the final decision maker of what fight occurs? A lot of casual fans don't understand.
The final decision maker on what? On which fight?
On which, just overall, is he the guy that says, all right, this is the fight that's gonna happen? Like, what is his role? Because if you're out there, agreeing to the fight, help us understand.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Listen, I mean, he obviously runs PBC. He's the boss, right? I don't know how he treats other fighters. I know he always does what's in their best interest. All I know is my relationship with Al, the fighters that I deal with him, it's always up to the fighter. He'll make suggestions. I'll make suggestions. We'll sit down and talk. 99% of the time we've agreed. in a 12-year relationship with Al, we might have disagreed once, and then we'll bring it to the fighter. But in the end, it's the fighter's decision. So that's the only way I can answer that. I can't comment on other people's relationships with him. But, I mean, one thing about Al Heyman is he's a great guy. You know, I think he gets unfairly treated in the media just because he doesn't talk to the media, so people don't really know where he's coming from. But he's made so much money for boxers. He's done so many great things for them. The fact that he is not in the Boxing Hall of Fame is absolutely ridiculous. Love him or hate him, agree with him or don't agree with him, you can't tell me Al Heyman doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know how many business people have had as many champions as he has over the last 10 or 15 years. Okay? And there's a lot of people on the business side that are in the Hall of Fame that have done a lot less than Al Heyman. So, you know, in ending on that question, I think, you know, if he doesn't make the Hall of Fame, he didn't make the Hall of Fame this year, which was ludicrous. If he doesn't make the Hall of Fame next year or the year after that, then, you know, then there's no credibility. He deserves to be in it, and he's a great guy, and he's done great things for fighters.
I agree with everything you're saying, but I got to ask, is he even going to accept the award? Like, very few people get to see the guy.
I'm sure he would. I can't speak for Al, just like I can't speak for Lou DiBella or anybody else. Like, you know, when you ask me about how they feel or what they say, but it doesn't matter. You don't, you know, you shouldn't have to show up. There are people that have passed away that have made the Hall of Fame. I don't think it's a requirement if he's going to show up or not, if he should be in it. He's one of the, you know, the top businessmen ever in the sport. He's revolutionized the sport. Some people love him. Some people don't like him. Those are usually the people that have never met him or have never have talked to him. But again, he's produced more world champions than probably anybody in the last 10 years. I think he's done it for long enough. And again, all the people that have gotten in the Hall of Fame over the last couple of years, they deserve it too. I'm not taking anything away from anybody else, but the fact that he's not in the Hall of Fame right now is just baffling. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, great guy, changed the sport a lot, done a lot for the fighters, which is his job. His job is to make people rich, and he's done that with enough of guys. He's produced a lot of world champions, and you know, I just think he's the type of guy that should already be in the Hall of Fame. But if he doesn't make it next year, then you know there's a big problem.
Keith, man,
a problem when he's not in it and Rocky in that thing.
This guy hates the Rocky Balboa's in the Hall of Fame.
I keep telling these guys he didn't really get in the ring.
He inspired millions, brother. He inspired millions.
Listen, I love the Rocky movies. My daughter loves the Rocky. Those are her favorite movies. So listen, again, I'm not a hater on anybody. I don't hate on the YouTube fights. If it's going to bring eyes to the sport, that's great. Rocky was great for the sport. He could be in the Hall of Fame too. And everybody else that's made the Hall of Fame, I have no problem with that. I don't know, the question you asked me about Al kind of triggered in my head, how is this guy not in the Hall of Fame? Because it kind of popped into my head the other day. And like I said, love him, hate him, if you're indifferent to him, he's one of the greatest boxing executives ever as far as the money he's made for fighters and the amount of champions he's produced. And he should be in the Hall of Fame. And that's how I'll leave tonight.
Keith, man, once again, thank you for your time. We truly appreciate it, man. And hopefully we can do this again. And you know, just keep doing what you're doing. I cannot believe how many fighters you have and all big names, man. Congratulations. You're doing a great job.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Keith Connolly, manager of about over a dozen fighters. I should have known he had Belunga. He's in that Rozier. Yeah, because he's in the Rozier camp, right? So
he got Coleman too, don't he?
Yeah, he got Coleman. Yeah,
you should ask him when Coleman was coming back.
Well, he got meetings. He said, man, hopefully we get him back. You know, he needs
he
about.
got top-
I think he needs about 2
He's
weeks.
stressed out though.
Who?
He got Top Rank. He got PPC,
No, but that's what he said.
got Eddie.
That's why he's happy, because he's got a guy with Bob, a guy with Eddie, guys with Al. So it works. All those doors are open. Because look, he got Belanga, which Belanga needs
On the
Madison
way
Square.
up, too, he got him on the way up though, bro. He got plenty of time to build Belanga to the Madison Square.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is Belanga needs Madison Square Garden. Like Puerto Ricans are, that's nostalgic for them, not the Barclays Center. So Madison Square kind of is a top rank thing. You know what I mean?
Ain't the Barclays Center like in Brooklyn?
It's in Brooklyn. It is. It is.
Well,
but Madison Square is in Manhattan.
But where do a lot of Puerto Ricans live at? In Brooklyn, right?
Bronx too.
Okay, bro. Okay.
But I'm just saying the nostalgia of it. You know, the Tito's and the Kodos, they fought in Madison Square. And all I'm saying is the Top Rank has that relationship with Madison Square. PBC has the relationship with Barclays Center, you know? And
he was Top Rank though, so he good.
No, he's definitely good, especially as a prospect. You know, the matchmakers over there. You know, I was talking to Brad the other day. We're gonna finally get him, and he probably thinks I'm hard.
Brad.
Top Rank's matchmaker.
Name.
Goodman, I believe.
Brad Goodman. There we go.
He's gonna probably thinks I'm a jerk, because he's like, hey Nestor, what's up? When you want to do it? And I never got back to him because we leave for a whole week to Alabama, so I'm not even sure, because that 1 hour difference is crazy. When I wake up over there, it's already like 10 or 9 over here. I mean, it's 10 over here or something like that. So I got to get on that time zone and then schedule people for next week. I've left a lot. I mean, Castillo Clayton is like, yo, I'm ready. And I'm like, so many people. I'm like, I'll be right back. The only one that I'm still, is Crawford. I'm still trying to get him locked in. But tomorrow, let me get the schedule out. What do we got for tomorrow?
Tomorrow we got some shit in the morning. We got tomorrow morning. I'm trying to use my memory right quick.
All right, tomorrow morning is Demond Nicholson from Philadelphia.
And Malik Hawkins.
And we have Malik Hawkins. He's trained by Calvin Ford. Javante Davis is trainer. Then in the evening, we got Caleb Plant at 7:30. Nathan Gallimore, 8 o'clock. And Andrew the Beast Tabiti at 8:30. So we definitely have a full house
and don't
tomorrow.
Forget to plug up your DAZN tomorrow night, because we'll be right here working and watching DAZN.
Oh, yes, because Andre is live and Tevin Farmer. I can't wait for the Tevin Farmer fight.
Me too. That's going to be a
That's
good
the
fight.
one.
That's why
I didn't even know Amanda Serrano was fighting this week.
She was like a late add-on. I'm like a late add-on.
Wow.
So she probably coming around with them J's on again. Then I want to see Andre demolish Luke Keeler. Luke been talking shit, but
I didn't. I'm not gonna schedule anything for Friday because we might not. I have an engagement, I think, so I don't know if I'm gonna do anything.
Definitely got an engagement Friday night.
No, morning, bro. Yeah.
You ain't gonna be here on Friday morning either?
Nah. You got something happening tonight?
Yeah, Friday nighttime I do.
Oh, well, I mean, I'll be available. We could push it to the evening, like 1.
What's that?
Whatever we were gonna do in the morning, we could do it in.
If you got something that that's pertinent, handle what you got to handle.
Yeah, it's a little. You know what I mean? I need to be there for someone.
Definitely. And my daughter's birthday, Saturday, so I'll be fucking.
Yeah, bro.
That day.
Yeah, bro. It's going down, man. The trip is coming up. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm not be able to make it.
What?
Nah.
Dog, you be killing me, bruh. We'll talk, man.
Yeah.
We'll talk. Let's see. We got Stainless. Talk to me, champ. Going out to Detroit. Boomerang status.
Motherfuck murder. Mayhem, last words of the Stainless. Told you I would kill you, squeeze after I aim it. If you're talking money, then you speaking my language. Or shut the fuck up in grown folks' conversation.
Stainless at work. Going once, twice. Cool.
Rich
CYP.
James, boy, you ain't no good, boy. You ain't no
CYP.
good, Rich James.
Yeah, I'm at work, man. Shout out, push your thumbs up. Y'all should know what to do. That's all I got. Great interviews, fellas. I'll talk to you soon.
All
Big
right.
up, Stainless.
CYP. All right. Steve in Chicago.
Yeah, hey, what's up, guys? Great show as always. I got a question though. Why are you masking the interview? How come you're not putting the interviewers in the titles on YouTube?
Because it's show business, right? So we're gonna talk boxing regardless, and if the interview doesn't happen, we've done that before where like we scheduled the whole show around someone and then it's like, oh, he's not coming on, all right, and we gotta end it. Whereas if we have a subtopic, we can at least talk boxing, and if we get those interviews, the show is just all that more better.
Okay. Well, can you somehow somehow give us a heads up on the Patreon then?
About when they're coming on?
Yeah.
Oh man, I've been saying it every day. I give you the week schedule. Like as I schedule it, I say it on every episode.
Maybe I missed.
And
I might have missed it.
yeah. We've been definitely saying it, but I mean, and this particular episode, I actually wrote it in the notes, which I don't ever do. So I put at the bottom, we'll be having Keith Connolly live on the show as well as Joey Dawejko.
All right, hey man, as a side, hey man, you and Mike, man, you guys should have been in Miami. What you guys doing?
Man, talking about being in Miami, bro. You crazy here right now.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
I know, but you acting like going to Miami right now is like the best time to go. It's the Super Bowl weekend too, dog. So the price is going to be inflated to the max.
Yeah, but I see these other people out there.
What Lou said, they paid media. No,
nah, they got.
He don't hook you up, man. Eddie don't hook you up.
Hell no, Eddie don't even answer my texts no more, man. He whack, man. He get me mad, dog. He answer me once every 2 months.
Yeah, hey, I've been texting you, bro. What you talking about? Hey.
Man, I'm gonna run down on him though. I'm just waiting for the right time, Steve. To be honest with you, I just can't go to just anything.
Nah, Miami, bro. It's crazy right now down there.
Yeah, I'm not single to be flying.
I was hoping Triple G fought in fucking Chicago, but they talking about it's gonna be in like Kazakhstan now.
What?
So
he getting that home money. All right.
I'm hoping Chisora and Usyk fight in Chicago. I know the stretch.
I mean, I don't know why they won't be doing that in the UK. Chisora's a pay-per-view star. That don't make no sense at all.
Pay-per-view star?
Out there? Come on, dog.
I wouldn't say star.
Bruh, they put Tony Bellew Usyk on pay-per-view. You tell me they ain't gonna put Chisora on? You wildin'.
Man, Tony Bellew had a run.
Yeah, he sure did, but so is Chisora right now. And
really Tony Bellew made that first one off the back of David Hay.
Nah, but
he was a name. He was the A side. Then when you beat him, know what I'm saying? You like in England, it truly is like when you beat him, you become the A side. Because the second fight, Bellew was clearly the A side.
Yeah, but Chisora got long time famous. Like I told you, he been they dog. They know they know he gonna be like, he gonna be that tough guy, man.
This might be the only fight where he might be slightly the underdog. But he should win because against Theory, let's be real, he wasn't going to win. Dylan White, he's not supposed to win.
Bruh, he could most definitely beat Usyk. But that's because we going based off last performance, though.
Yeah, no, right? No, Michael Hunter.
What?
Michael Hunter put paws on Usyk, dog.
I mean, yeah, but that was not heavyweight. And Hunter don't got. That's what I'm saying. He ain't got the power. And Usyk. I mean, not Usyk. Chisora ain't got the agility of Hunter.
Hunter moving pretty good now. Man, Chisora on your ass. Come on, Ness.
He on your ass, but he don't got the agility of Hunter.
Nah, he ain't got that kind of agility.
You know what I'm saying? He
right
boxed totally different, in my opinion.
I'm gonna love that fight, bro.
Well,
that might be the most intriguing outside of the what Fury and Wilder got going on. Like that matchup might be the most intriguing matchup. 'Cause I'm looking at Usyk like, bro, do you got it or not? You know what I'm saying? And Chisora gonna see if you got it or not. If Chisora win a belt after what, 16
Maybe,
years?
bruh. Maybe, man. Because, let's not act like Chisora always shows up. Like, he another little Andy. He might come in fat. He might not be.
There's a belt on the line, though. When he motivated, he show up.
Ain't no belt. That's an eliminator, bruh. It is. I'm not being mean. I'm just keeping it real.
Hey, man, I ain't heard nothing official.
I hear you, man. I hear you. So we got Checkmate Boxing.
I'm Checkmate. You cooking?
Yo, what's up, fellas?
Hey, did
Hey, can you hear me?
and Joshua fight? Did they fight yet?
Oh my! You know what, Mike? I'm coming to Indiana, and me and you get in that motherfucking ring. How about that, bro? Hey, check this out, y'all. I actually made a post about this Lou DiBella thing a couple of months ago when I said the word was Lou was fired for trying to backdoor Al Heyman and Shelley, trying to sidebar with Wilder, trying to get him to take the DAZN deal. So this is the reason why they stopped working with Lou, is because he was playing the other side. His whole end game was DAZN. That's the reason why you see him and his fighters over at DAZN now. So this is not new news, but it's just leaking out. I heard about it. You know what I mean? And so now that he's actually admitted to it and everything else, I actually messaged him about it a couple months ago. And, of course, I didn't get a reply. But, yeah, so that's what it was. He was backdooring, he was trying to convince him to come over to take the DAZN deal against the advice of Al and Shelley. And so with that said, when you got a Judas in the camp, what do? Okay, you brought us to the table, but when we didn't like what we heard and we wanted more information, you still, after Al and Shelley, gave Wilder advice to say, no, we're going to hold tight on this, but Lou said, no, man, you got to take this. Then guess what? He played his hands. He showed his true self, and it was really all about him. And that's why he's gone. So, that's the deal. And that's the reason why he's buried on DAZN. But notice he is not happy. That interview was very, very telling. He's so frustrated because he's getting, you know what I mean? He's like somebody who, you gave him the rope to hang himself, and he did it.
Back to that body.
He didn't have to
expert.
hang himself.
You back to being a body language expert.
Which is,
I see you, boy.
Hey, Mike.
AJ was.
Hey, but Mike. Mike, listen. AJ was definitely shook. Mike. First of all, Mike, I'm a business development manager, and of course, I use so many psychology courses in college. So I'm supposed to pay attention to things like this. But I understood, and I got word through the grapevine what happened with Lou months ago. You know what I mean? And I messaged him about it. And you know what I mean? He never confirmed it, but he confirmed it. What's going on now. I mean, it's obvious. You don't want no Judas in the camp.
Yo, get your little business manager but the Patreon. You tell me all this time you got psychology major, PhD, and you ain't on Patreon. I swear to God, man. I swear to God, we got the.
What he doing is he just sitting back, calculating all his thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Getting all his thoughts together. And, you know what I'm saying? Getting his one shot. But no, bro, I don't think
Cup of coffee, Checkmate. That's sad.
Good call, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think Lou is like you know what I'm saying? I won't call him a Judas, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? They just chose to go separate ways, you know what I'm saying? Lou may be a little bit mad about it because that maybe be a big chunk of his chain that was coming out. He was
something happened, man. Something happened. I wish we knew more details because definitely something happened because Lou put himself outside and it sucks, man. Right now, he got a couple of guys that I would have wished could have been in the mix, man. Let me get to these super chats real quick. Just want to thank everybody that did super chat, man. Appreciate the support. Some of these I've already read, so I'm going to pick up where I left off. Basil Lomachenko, why would Deontay Wilder fire somebody that's getting him more money? Somebody's lying. Alexander Wilson, Lou said in the Boxing Junkie article that him setting up the meeting with DAZN didn't sit well with Al, Finkel, and Espinoza. Andre Wilson coming back. He says, read the Boxing Junkie article. They actually source your interview with Espinoza. It feels in a lot of deal. No, I guess he meant to say if it fills in. He said it feels in a lot of details about the topic on hand.
Yeah.
And then Alexander Wilson back again. It says Larry Holmes and Jerry Cooney got $5 million apiece in 81, which would be $40 million each calculated with inflation in today's money. Damn, Jerry Cooney made $5 million
in 81.
In 81 as a B-side?
Who you fight?
Larry Holmes, dog. I didn't even know that shit.
Yeah.
He be still sparring, man. He should
Jerry
give me a
Cooney
fight
still
in
sparring.
Border War. Yeah.
He'll fuck somebody up, man.
He should give me a fight in Border Wars. He should make Border Wars great.
I want you to fight Mike Tyson.
What?
Hot boxing with my nigga.
Nah, man, you crazy?
You got crazy shit.
You see how the fuck he moving in that studio? You wildin'. Did you see Cooney sparring? I want Cooney.
No, man.
I want Cooney. Me and Cooney got history. He always putting his fist on my chin every time I go to the studio. Every time I'm in his studio, he gotta give me the fist to the chin. Nah, bro.
But man, you gotta remember, man. It's the 80s, baby. Cocaine just, you know what I'm saying, was down in Miami. Cocaine Cowboys and Griselda.
Yeah, I don't care though, man. $5 million. I never knew that. I respect him so much more now. No, but it don't matter, bro. $5 million.
Bro, you can't, man.
That's levels, bro. Let me tell you,
documentaries.
That's levels, bro. There are heavyweights right now that haven't made $5 million. That's levels, man.
Maybe boxing was bigger than it was because basketball wasn't as big.
I hear you, man.
Now.
I hear you, man. But all I'm saying is, I give
NFL wasn't either though. NFL was like NFL wasn't as big as it is now. But basketball was like damn sure not as big in the 80s because Magic and Bird had like brought the lead back in the 80s, so they were just not coming back up. And they ain't talking about 81. Yeah, no, 81 was man. But you big ups to Larry Holmes and George.
Yo, Killer from Sweden said 100-year-old Cooney would put me out. Dog, that's the fight I want. That's my YouTube fight. Tell Dazn. I want that. That's my fight.
Man.
Dazn, sign me up. We got Francisco. I read that one. Dominicano, soy mi campeón Rosario. And we got Mofo. Mippo? I don't know.
Man, I'm watching this fucking Sky Sports stream today. I'm just like, how are these YouTube dudes hosting this shit, bro? These guys was just
they
whack,
popular, man. They popular.
Guess, man.
I wish I was that popular. We be on Dazn too.
That's popular. Ain't no black or no Latino popular popping YouTubers.
I mean, we just had KSI. Why you trying to act like he ain't black? And he won.
I'm talking about like American.
And he out here killing
American, dog.
I don't I don't fuck with Trippie Redd, but look, he just did a song with Trippie Redd. So
he did a song with Trippie?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's good for him. That's not the type of music I listen to.
Who was the big American YouTubers outside of Logan Paul?
Yeah, but the thing is that they don't fight, bro. Because the other dude is Shane Dawson. That dude Shane Dawson.
Who?
I think it's like Shane Dawson. He's huge. Dawson. Yeah. I don't know. I probably got it wrong, man. You know that ain't my world. We got
Where's Shannon Briggs at?
We got so Mofi said, great interview, fellas. That dude was very heavy-handed with the confidence he gained by beating Williams. He is going to be a handful. And then we got Sweden Killer says,
I gotta see it one more time. I gotta see it one more time. He came out of nowhere.
True. Not really out of nowhere. Like I said, he beat. If you look at his resume, he beat decent names.
Yeah, but if you like, I don't know what happened before the Gallimore fight. Was it late notice? He said, was it like just a couple of days, or did he have like proper notice for the Gallimore fight? Because
I ain't even asked.
The way Julian Williams put pause on Gallimore, I just thought like it was
Yeah,
a fuck
but
off.
that's what boxing keeps telling us. The triangle theories don't mean nothing. Just because Andy beat AJ don't mean Wilder beats AJ, even though I believe Wilder beats AJ, if that makes any sense. No, I mean, look, triangle theories don't work. It don't work in boxing, but I'm going with Wilder, but it don't work.
If Andy beat AJ, Wilder beat AJ.
Killer said, shout out to Rosario. He's a smooth operator. Love TBV.
Seen that OTKP.
What you saying?
Logan Paul mama talking bad about Shannon. I ain't come on video, but I seen it. Like, we knew something was wrong when Shannon first came to camp. I like, now it's Shannon fault. The nigga got put pause on. Come on, bro.
Hey man, blame it on somebody. We got V in Jacksonville.
What up, V?
What's poppin'? So, let me get this straight. Your boy Al Heyman, and me, I'm unbiased. Let's just get this right. You know what I'm saying? I think all the promoters are in it for themselves, even the people that everybody think is a saint, like Al Heyman. That's what I'm trying to make y'all understand, okay? So, this guy, Lou DiBella, tries to get the DAZN deal because he sees that Al Heyman is entrenched. He's not going to make a move with the zone. He does not. The PBC are so entrenched, they were trying to make their own belts. Okay? So they're trying to create this atmosphere like, yo, we got to make it about us. We can't share. It can't be this kind of, we kind of got to stall the zone out, trying to starve them out. But that doesn't benefit the fighters. What benefits the fighters is for everybody to be cooperating. The Zone, Fox, Showtime, everybody could get this stream money. But Al Heyman is blocking, and y'all just overlooking it because he has such an awesome track record. Yeah, go ahead, man.
As Al Heyman being a advisor, doing like retroactive thinking, do you think that he advised Wilder the right thing, saying that Eddie came out last week, said it could be 150 million each for a fight in Saudi Arabia? So technically, like Al Heyman did the right thing by telling Wilder, no, don't take that deal, right?
I mean, it's all speculation right now.
Speculation?
That's number one. It's all,
man.
It's speculation.
Cut it. How you gonna say it's speculation right now, Chad?
I mean, because we won't have like solid numbers. You know what I'm saying? It's just Eddie word of mouth. That's all. But at the end of the day, like I said back then, I thought the fight was worth more back then, and apparently it's double and almost triple that right now.
Bruh, you can't say it's speculation. We could definitely say that we can't go with Eddie's numbers, but everyone could assume. Everyone could guess. And those guesses are as good as facts because we know the magnitude of the fight
90
now.
seconds.
Like, come on, just like we know certain people can't sell, we know what fights will sell. Like to act like that's impossible to do at this moment makes zero sense. But
and let's just think, since that turned down of the deal, Wilder got like a $10 million payday plus more against Fury for the first fight. Then came back, got a Brazil 15 to 20. They came back and did a pay-per-view and got another 15 to 20
seconds
more. And now I'm about to do another Fury match that's gonna probably net him upwards of 20 plus. So I mean, the math is pretty good.
Definitely, man. People just don't like the truth. Stonebone Boxing, talk to us.
What up? Yeah, man, good interview. And that's cool though. He got, like you say, he got his foot in all of the games. You know what I mean? He got top rank, Al Heyman. And I think Lou would have done better, man, just shut up. Because even guys that was thinking of, like, even Steven Espinoza probably like, damn, I don't even want to deal with Lou now. He gonna come out and say what our beat's supposed to be. So when you get talking like that, you kind of dig yourself deeper into a hole, I think, sometimes. So we'll see how that come out. And I don't think is Lou saying that they told him not to make the meeting and he did, or what are they saying?
The assumption is that after the meeting, he was fired.
So I'm wondering, did he say not do it and he did it, or like I don't know what he would be fired for doing it for. Not unless, not unless what John Skipper was apologizing for was really Lou DiBella's fault. You know what I mean? He was covering for Lou when he was talking about. You know what I mean? Maybe Lou didn't put all of the facts on the table for the meeting and had Wilder them in there with real questions and John Skipper looking stupid without the answers. So I don't know, man. We got to look deeper into that though. I'll catch y'all in the morning.
All right, Stonebone.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. CYP, talk to me.
Well, CYP. Well, it's so
Yeah, that was a good.
Damn chat is crazy.
Y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that was a good interview. I do feel a little bit like Kawanaki ducked Brazil, because how the hell do you not know why you didn't accept Brazil? Maybe he priced himself out or something. How would you not know, man? You the man. You supposed to know. Like, the fuck out here. So other than that, I like dude. When it comes to my man Lou, you tried it. I get it. You tried it. It made sense. Wilder actually went down there, tried to get the deal done. Damn, John Skipper just wasn't ready. I think the reason John Skipper wasn't ready was because you tried to rush it. You tried to get Wilder to get down there quick before old Al and old Finkel really understood what was going on. And then they realized, hold on. Why would I want my biggest star or any of my biggest stars to go to the zone? I mean, let's just not make it about Al. Let's make it about any business. If I just signed a big deal with Nike to have all my athletes in Nike, why would I want any of them talking to Adidas? I don't care how much money Adidas is offering them. I gave my word to Nike that all of my athletes that I deal with will wear Nike. So I'm not going to be happy with that. But I hear you with the 120. Then you tell me, oh, but we can't guarantee that he's going to get his own signature shoe. Hold up, man. No. That was the whole point.
That goes back to it. Is Al an advisor or is he a promoter? Does he have an advisory stable or does he have a promotional stable? I mean, let me know.
PBC is PBC is PBC. You have to deal with it. Those grown man facts we got to deal with. PBC has to have a stable if they're going to get these big deals. You can't get big deals with Fox and Showtime without a stable, and that's the stable that he promised them. You can't just say, okay, I promised you this stable, but then go ahead and negotiate and take my dude. You can't do that.
I hear you.
That's it for me. I'm going to see y'all in the morning. CYP out. Hey, and don't get wrenched up with all that disrespect. CYP out.
Hey, man.
All right, let me get to Vito, Malaysia.
Yeah, what up, Vito?
Yeah, what up? Ness, first of all, you said something about Eddie and not taking your calls or replying your text messages. Well, with the way you spin shit, who blame him? You spin shit the way you like, and you're here crying that Eddie and is not taking your calls or texts. Come on, man, you can do better. And hell, if I know for a fact that you were gonna spin this shit that happened to Lou DiBella. You were trying to spin it, and if they give you time, you probably come back and then make a show saying that everything is to be blamed on Eddie Hearn. That's what you do. So it's no surprise. But CYP, you keep talking. I mean, the people that make the dumbest analogy in this amongst callers, the CYP and the other guy named after a telephone number, is it 704 or what his name is? They just don't make any sense. How can you say someone is trying to set up a fight at the fight?
Cut it. Why does Vito come for everybody like that?
Tell Eddie to get you a boomerang so you can get your point
came
across.
For the whole panel. Bop, bop, bop. NCYP, bop, bop, bop. 704, bop, bop. Damn, Vito, what happened?
He always mad. Stunner, talk to me.
Yo, what's good, man?
What's up, Stunner?
Yo,
what kind of conspiracy you got today?
All right, well, I didn't catch most of the episode, but I've listened to the caller, so I've kind of picked up on where we at. All right, first I want to remind people of something. The one caller was saying how all these promotional companies need to work together. Now you need to realize, as far as Al Heyman working with Hearn and stuff, we already did that before. Remember, Al Heyman sent Hearn an olive branch when he gave Charles Martin that Anthony Joshua fight, because back then Al Heyman was strictly good on trying to get the best deal for my fighter, and that turned into Anthony Joshua and Hearn then bashing Al Heyman's top star, and causing Wilder's build to kind of slow down because people were buying into the propaganda. Now, as far as the Al Heyman Lou DiBella thing, what people need to realize is that we have.
Cut it. You were not going to sit here and say he gave this man an olive branch and Charles Martin.
Why do you disagree with that?
Because Al is an advisor. You can't tell Charles Martin to turn down what, $7-8 million. They didn't tell it was way more than $6. You can't sit here and tell Charles Martin to turn down that kind of money when you can't offer it to him. Not at that time. Come on, let's just be real. But like olive branch, no, he was doing his job, being a good advisor, and advised Charles Martin, hey, go get that money and beat his ass and come back. But he just went over there and got that money, and that's all he did. I mean, we heard Wilder say all the time, he sold that belt. What do you think he meant by that?
He said Charles Martin.
That's what I'm saying.
Charles Martin sold the belt.
Yes.
Okay. So
I'm not meaning Al. No, I ain't meaning Al. No,
yeah.
It's Charles Martin. And they tell me with that fatty on the line. They know olive branch, nigga. That's his business.
Nah, I agree with Stunner in the sense that Al could have definitely built up. He could have told Charles Martin, we'll get you there, because he could have kept. Same thing he's doing with Earl and the WBC and the IBF now. He's keeping it on his side of the street. He could have kept the BC and the IBF on his side of the street too. For as long as that would have lasted. I believe in him sending, the Charles Martin fight in good faith, because that then brought AJ to Showtime, if you don't remember. So it's just like, yeah, I kind of see what he's saying. You know what I mean? You doing business with a guy, you give him a belt, you hook him up with a network, and then he's shitting on your character and your brand. I get it.
Shitting on whose character and brand?
Eddie shitting on Al Heyman's character and brand.
How you shitting on Al Heyman's character?
What the fuck? How many interviews hasn't he done saying, oh, they're advising him over there not to do this and this and that, trying to paint Al as the bad guy? Come on, bro. And this is not just this year.
That's his perspective.
No, that's the perception he's trying to paint.
Maybe that's just his perspective on things. You can't.
And that's why I believe Stunner. That's why I believe Stunner, because he's giving you a belt. He gave you a network deal, and in return, you're telling people that he doesn't want to do the big fight and that his fighter needs to gain popularity, et cetera, et cetera. But whatever, man. Like, all that shit is old news, man. Whatever. Wilder's doing his own thing. It is what it is.
Yeah.
We went to everybody. Let me see here. Yup. All right. So we got one block caller. What up?
Blocky block.
You.
Hey. Can you hear me?
Yes. Who's this?
You hear me?
Yes. Who's this?
Hey, my name's Matt.
Matt, where you call?
First time caller.
Man, you're not on the phone, man. I think you
I
might
think
have
he's
put
from
like speaker or
Australia.
something.
No, he's there. Go ahead.
No, I'm calling from New Zealand.
Okay.
All right, what up, Matt?
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, I reckon the whole thing with I don't really trust any promoters, so I don't trust really Hearn, but I don't really trust Heyman as well, because I mean, at the end of the day, we got the Floyd Pacquiao thing, fight way too, like 6 years too late, obviously. So, and I reckon it was just a case of Hearn was probably just too arrogant at the beginning, too arrogant at the beginning, and Wilder wasn't big enough. So I think they're just waiting for it to get bigger and bigger. And I think they're waiting for Wilder to become more of a star before they make it. And I don't really buy any of this stuff, like, all this stuff about which guy doesn't want it and stuff. I think just at the end of the day, they all know that it's going to be bigger the later it is. And we're just, everyone's just being played,
All right, Matt. So listen, your phone line is blocked. So normally I don't answer block calls because they're usually trolls. So I don't know. You might try to fix that for the future so we can, be able to get to you sooner.
Or just call on Skype.
Yep. You can call on Skype.
NESTORGIBBS on Skype.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation. I want to thank you for calling in. We're going out to... All right, that's it. I mean, Intrigue is trying to call in, see if he could get in time. Did we give Dom his boomerang? And Dom, you got your boomerang, right?
No, I didn't.
You never say you did either.
I didn't. You hear me?
I, honestly, bro, you did.
I did. I only got one call.
But before the first guest came on, you were one of them callers.
Ooh, why you stunting on us, Dom?
I mean, I ain't want to do it to you, Dom.
Damn, Dom said a win is a win, huh? I hear you. Listen, we out. That's everybody, man. I'm out of here. And that's GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Yo, and I just got text from Odawa Wildin, like, what's up for 3 p.m. tomorrow? And I'm like, no answer.
Odawa Wildin?
Yeah. I
3 p.m.?
I put the eye emoji, like, I'm looking, but I ain't dead right now, champ.
Follow me on IG at Gross1911 or on Twitter at Gross312. You can follow me on YouTube at Mike on Sports. Why defend and it hurts so much, man? Why defend everybody so much, right? Makes for a good show. Go ahead, Ness.
Nah, man. That's GT on Instagram and Twitter. Peace.
Peace.
Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace.